The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make it right? Can Res Mom make it right to be $50? You son of a bitch! Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoke and Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is why here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one, they're all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
Water from the cloth of Peter Low Shack. Legendary sports handicap a more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, what we all. PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing. Baby with the bag and you love it. We want it top 10, we above it. Leche.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, June 26th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I mean, the roller coaster ride just never ceases to blow my mind. On camera with you, I lose that first 3 under. My first 3 unders were becoming, it's still really strong overall, but I was on a bad run with them. Lose that bet in front of you guys and then win 9 straight MLB bets. And then the clock strikes 10 p.m. and 4 games in WNBA, and I lose those all. It's still a winning day, but, and a great winning day. But I'm, filled with, anger. I have cut $50, which is not much, but cut $50 off of my WNBA unit size. When we work so hard together to beat MLB, and I hit my high water mark of the season and then give back $1,000 in WNBA. It was infuriating. And also, I hate, and I've talked to you guys about this before, the defeatist mental attitude. And, we all sort of, and I hope you guys don't get it too much. I get it when I'm losing. I expect the worst case scenario to happen. And then when things are really good, you expect something bad to happen. So I peel off 9 straight wins in MLB. I'm like, I'll probably fucking lose all these 4 WNBA games. And then that's exactly what happens. And then I hate that negative fucking defeatist mentality so much. But God, getting a chance to start another day here with you guys, I don't take for granted. And I'm so thankful. And I'm ready to attack the board. So thank you guys so much for being here, rocking with us. We have a great show. A great show. We got Bobano joining us. We're going to talk about that first CFL game. And then we're going to hear his best bets. But we'll be done all that within 25 minutes. So we'll have at least 40 minutes to break down the 3 for the 1:10 p.m. games, of which I've moved on. And I'll be able to do this more. I mean, it's a little easier. I'm 15-4 in the last 2 days in MLB, so it's a little easier to kind of trust myself. But I know I'm succeeding because I'm capping with you guys each and every day. But I have moved on the first 3 under 2.5 in that Athletics Tigers game. I've moved on the Guardians -1. I had the first 3 under 1.5 queued up for Phillies Astros. I had it queued up and I didn't bet it. We'll revisit it here. I had it ready to go and I didn't bet it. And then I've moved on the Rockies first 3 plus a half, a +115 in the Gomber Kershaw spot. So that is what has been done. We have a great show because we have Bobano hitting lead off, and then Spooner comes in. We're also going to get best bets from Justin Mcelvy. Spooner has been crushing Sundays, and he's having a strong season. It's weird when you have a 1 day a week sample size on a show. So Spooner went 4-1 yesterday. It was great to see. And so it's tough when we track every person who does our show meticulously. There are a lot of touts who I used to do shows with who can't do shows with me because they know, we'll be honest with our record keeping, and that may hurt their bottom line. So, I'm proud of all the guys who rock with me, understanding that their record will be, tracked meticulously and not showing fear. Means a lot to me. It means a lot to the channel. Means a lot to the community. Great to see you guys. Stacks play day number 1, Bobby Witt Jr., RBI, and number 2, Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases +110. We're going to break that down. He's going to be live here with us. Gorky in the house. Cubs, Dodgers for him. I was one of those days where things just went to form. And I did hit 4 first 3 unders in a row, which I needed quite badly. I had lost. I mean, there's going to be streaks of a negative sort always, but But Jose and I are both hitting our high water mark here at the same time. So let's just keep that rolling. There's Spooner in the house. Astros money line, Tigers -1, Rays money line, Mariners money line, and Mets money line. I like the card. I like that card. We're on different action, but it's going to be a lot of fun breaking that all down. Let me copy and paste all of this here. We go. AM says lots of fires have to put out at work today. Not sure if I can make the show. Good luck today, everyone. AM, just the care and the thought and the hard work you put into the chat means so much to us. Slow Jams Arsenal in the house. The nuke workers already locked in the Jays +100. Yeah, I'm Gossman's biggest fan. I think. I don't know anybody is a bigger fan who's stuck up for Gossman more than me, but I'm fading him here. I can't wait to talk it out with you, Nuke, my man. Viper NB in the house. There's BJ. He is on the Guardians money line. Viper NB also on Houston -1. Irish King in the house. Redbeard off another 2-in-1 day yesterday. If they could all be like that. We got Sly One ready to get to work. Big Daddy Boom making his moves. Let's get that all copied and pasted under Spooner's action here. Let's get this all locked in. Here we go. Sly One, Sancho, JM ready to get to work here. And what a day there. A big winning day for Big Daddy Boom. Love to see it. Christopher Carter ready to go. And over 7.5 for Redbeard in that Jays Cleveland game. Vladdy over 1.5 bases. Vladdy looks good. Thank God we signed him. Man, can't we have something we can be proud of here? A long time. Well, I mean, we had 2016, but still, it's nice. Christopher Carter running back the Mets team total over and adjusted team total over. There's Black Thor King in the house. We got Kong's clips ready to get to work. 9 Legacy putting out his action in the chat. We're going to move quickly. I promise you guys we're going to get a lot of time here. Also, I'm not rushing to get in the 1:10 p.m. action. That's not going to slow us down. It's not going to make me, it'll probably make me more calm and relaxed, but still we're going to fire away. So 9 Legacy ready to go. There's Vaughn Polo. Vaughn Polo has a new show coming out on Pub Culture TV that we're very excited about. Vaughn Polo in the house. Speaking of very excited, this Saturday we have our first horse racing show on the channel in a long time. I can't wait. To hammer the horses. Guillermo Zertucci, Spenny Penny Bombs, Kev Reed, the Montana Chicken Chaser, talking to Big Ragu. Looks like Ragu's going to stop by. He's been dealing with the knee surgery and not being mobile, and he's so excited. He's going to come back and cap MLB with us after the All-Star break, but he's just itching to come back and rock with us. DJ Big Boss going to rock with us here. Razor Sharp Picks is working on his schedule to see if he can swing by for a few races. But it's going to be extremely enjoyable. We're starting up at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And also, we're really excited about our big trip, our big Woodbine Low Bag Summit of Champions. That's going to be extremely fun. Hopefully, Bobano can show up. We have the promo being made now, and then we're going to send out all the invites to people. And that's open to everybody who can make it. Fly in. We want everybody there. We got Jerry Davis says, I don't know exactly why, but my gut is telling me Royals absolutely smacking the Rays today. Kuda James here, ready to get to work. And Kuda James says, found your page, watched you yesterday. You have very good inside yesterday, but didn't go. Oh, you have very good inside yesterday, but didn't go well. But you got a sub out of me. Good days ahead. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry it didn't go well for you because, we don't need to get into it, but let's get that cash, my man. Robert McCormick, Robert Franklin, 7-0. But he says that's in the past. Let's get it today. Also, TJ went 7-0. Jose had a monster day, 9-1 for me, and it felt very good. Truth Teller ready to get to work. Sammy Comer in the house. Sammy Comer, I've been meaning to reach out to you on Friday. You won a race, $50 for your bankroll that you can take in. Sammy Comer, we need you at Woodbine. That date once more for our big Woodbine trip is near the end of August, near the end of the summer. It's going to be gorgeous, perfect. Saturday, August 23rd. And we have Nuke Worker up there, Spenny Penny Bombs, Mr. Gokes. They're all confirmed to be rocking. Blank Discretion, yes, Spooner is on today. Gossman over 2.5 earned runs here for the Sly One. And let's keep rolling here. We have our guy, Kong's Clips. Said 7 years ago today, I lost my dad. Tough day for me. Let's get to the bag. I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that, Kong. There's no words that will ever make that better, easier.
you've had to handle that on your own and lead your family through those tough times. But I can tell you that we are so thankful to be part of your family now. And we love capping with you every day. And your promo gets me so pumped up. I know we got to get to work. But Kong's Clips, we love you. And we're thankful to cap with you. And I'm sorry that you lost your dad. And that hurt will never go away. But we just love capping with you each and every day. And we're thankful to get to share each day with you and cap with you. And let's get Kong's clip up here to get us started today. All right, we got work to do. Each of these cappers that is joining us today is only available for a fixed amount of time, and we're very, very thankful to have them. Von Polo on the Mets and Guardians. We got Redbeard, MJ Falls, JM, Razor, Sharp Picks in the house as well. Hopefully he can rock, but he's very, very busy. Yes, Sammy Comer, don't worry, you're on the list for invites. We're just setting it all up. Blackdoor King says, hell yes, I'm coming to Woodbine. That Blackdoor King would be phenomenal. Irish King ready to go. Wine Time Sports ready to go. Robert Cherry, MLG Beavis, a great group. And let's do what we love more than anything and get to work on this card. So please welcome from Canada's Black and Yellow Steel Town, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And Black and Yellow is still Carter's favorite song. This guy plays Black and Yellow every day. A 4-year-old loves that song. Please welcome our guy, Mr. Ian Cameron, to the show. Bobano, what's good, man? How are you?
I'm good. Good to be with everybody on a Thursday. How are we doing?
Oh, doing great. The week. Look, you know the roller coaster, right? 9-1 in MLB and then 0-4 in WNBA to end the night. So, it's just the roller coaster ride never ceases to be violent and out of control. But I'm thankful and excited and pumped up, and we're thankful to have you. And let's utilize you for every second, Bobano, my friend. So thank you for joining us. And that August 23rd Woodbine trip, we desperately would love you to rock with us on that day. You'll get
I know I'm away of 1 or 2 weekends in August. I don't know if it's that weekend though, so I'll have to take a look.
Cool, my man.
Cool, I think. Yeah, I'll try to get down there.
We will. Yeah, we'll send you the invite and all that there, so that you'll know all about it. But let's get to work here, Bobano. So we have 16 minutes basically or less. We're going to talk about the Elks Bombers game, and then we're going to hear best bets for the rest of the week that we will utilize when we cap the rest of the CFL card tomorrow. Then we'll get into the 1:10 p.m. games here. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. But yes, now I know what you're talking about. That was all pretend. Right? That was all pretend. All right, we're at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg, Manitoba. 76 Fahrenheit, mostly sunny, 9 miles per hour. Bobano, there's something I talk about that I don't ever read about. Just seems that nobody else seems to care about these short weeks. They're not in any articles. Nobody's saying, oh, but Winnipeg was in Vancouver on Saturday night and came home to Winnipeg on Sunday and then had Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday to prepare for this football game. But that is the case. The Bombers are enormous favorites here on a very, very short week. And there's every reason for them to be enormous favorites here against the Edmonton Elks. We have Kuda James on the under 51. Sharpie in the house. Sharpie, I'm going to copy and paste all this. Thank you for sharing that with us. It is a fascinating game that you're talking about. But let's get this one set up here. Elks coming off that ugly 38-28 home loss to the Alouettes on Thursday. They were down 24-6 at the half. They were terrible. They were so bad. This new offensive coordinators making nothing happen. All of the yards that they put together were in garbage time. Trey Ford ended up 27-36 for 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ran 3 times for 31 yards and a touchdown. Sounds like he had a good day, but we know the truth. Newgarter says too many points here, and I feel the same way, but I couldn't just come in here with a bet on the Elks. The Elks have cost me more money, Bobano, than any team in the CFL. If I never bet a Elks game, I'd be just dominant in this sport. Rankin and Javon Lee, who I think are great running backs, also combined to run 18 times for 117 yards of garbage time. Stephen Dunbar caught 7 for 97. Curly Gittins, a junior, caught 5 for 95 and a touchdown. They lose their all-star center, David Beard. He's on the 6-game IR. Which is just, one after another. This defense has looked horrific. That's the biggest problem. The defense looks terrible. Last in the league in opponent points. Last in the league in opponent's net offense. But the Bombers are on a short week, and the Elks finished on Thursday. This is something that I utilize heavily throughout the year, and it brings a lot of money towards me, but the Elks are not a part of that. Zach Caleros did not look good in BC. 18 to 25 for 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Look, nobody's screaming for Chris Streveler, and that was a real emotional first game that he played. But Quentin Cooley took some of Matthew Peterson's shine. They both didn't look very good. Carrick Wheatfall caught 6 passes for 86 yards. Nobody else caught for more than 40 yards. The Bombers have the league's best defense. Who they played? The BC Lions, who's I've talked about so far in a short year. That this, I believe, is the weakest group of receivers I've seen on the BC Lions in years. So let's just pull out the line history and hear how Bobano is going to attack this first game. And let me just move over to the CFL odds. And here we go. Ian, we have a move constantly towards the Winnipeg Bombers. They're now minus 11. They opened up at minus 10. I didn't realize that. We know that I saw them at 8.5 and 9 at other books, but they're saying it opened up at 10 here and actually moved to the Elks first to 9.5. I find that interesting. It moved to 11 at 7:30 this morning. Most of the books are at 10.5 that I'm looking at, but the sharpest one is at 11. This total here is a 51. 51. There's 51 and a halves. This opened up at 50 and a half and has moved to 51. Bobano, take it away, our Thursday nighter Elks Bombers.
Yeah, there's just too many concerns here for me with Edmonton. It's we had Montreal team total last week against them. That's disappointing. I mean, I expected them to be a little bit better here. That was a horrible game, by the way, for Mark Killam. I'm worried about this hire a little bit. I mean, this guy's been around a long time, but special teams coordinator, and now all of a sudden he's a head coach, and he's a nice guy, and everyone was happy for him getting the opportunity. But boy, that was a rough game for him. He's not knowing when to go for 2. He's not knowing whether he should be onside kicking or not. I mean, he just made so many egregious decisions, in my opinion, last week as far as game management's concerned. So I got to downgrade, I think, my opinion on Mark Killam as a hire after what I saw last week. Now, again, he's young. He's a rookie head coach. It's a learning moment for him, but didn't love what I saw. The defense has not gotten one lick better, and I think that's been one of the most surprising things. You look at all these defensive numbers for Edmonton. They're horrible. Last in the CFL in opponent points. 1 sack in 2 games this season. That's just not going to get the job done either. 1 sack in this amount of time. No, that's not what you want to see from your defense. They've given up 31 and 38 points in the 2 games. And then on offense, it's not been what it's all cracked up to be for Trey Ford. People thought Trey Ford going to come in, finally going to get his shot, after having to wait behind Cornelius and McLeod Bethel Thompson and all these other quarterbacks. Daigie, remember? They played Daigie for a bit in Edmonton over him. Finally getting his shot, but he's a work in progress. He's not a finished product. You look at him with accuracy in the pocket, big time room for improvement. You look at, obviously, decision making, there's still a lot of room for improvement. Is he athletic? Can he run? Yes, that's his strength. That's clearly where he's at his best. And can he obviously make things happen out of nothing when the pocket collapses, the play breaks down? Can he scramble to keep a play alive and still find someone open down the field like he did in the first game against BC? He made an incredible play in that game. But unfortunately, it's been surrounded by a lot of questionable throws, inaccurate throws, bad decisions, interceptions, and you can tell he's still a work in progress. Now, Killam said he's going to be patient with Trey Ford. We're not going to, take him out of this starting spot just because of a few rough games. We're committing to him. We think he's going to be the guy, but clearly it's still a work in progress. When you look at Winnipeg's defense, which has looked great, they've played BC twice. They did give up some points and yards to BC. And BC stopped themselves with turnovers in that game. Last week, Mcelvy was just not very good. I watched that game, and, my one loss for the show last week was BC, and I just misread Mcelvy's effectiveness. I thought he'd be better than that. He wasn't. He made mistakes. The O-line didn't help them, obviously. But to me, the Winnipeg defense, it's good. But they played a BC team that's got O-line issues. Now, you could say that about Edmonton now with the Beard injury. But still, BC had O-line issues. Mcelvy was not very good. I could see Edmonton putting up points in this game a little bit tonight just because of that. And the fact they get a little extra time. I just don't know how they're going to stop the Winnipeg offense. And I know the Bomber offense was great in the first game against BC with Strevler. But you're right about Collaros, Jimmy. He was not great last week. The Winnipeg offense was not great last week. It wasn't firing on all cylinders. There was a long stretch where it struggled. But against this Edmonton defense, man, I haven't seen enough to trust them that they can get stops. And then you'll start to look at series history. My gosh, Jimmy, you look at this series history. Winnipeg has scored 28, 38, 45, 27, 55 points in the last 6 head-to-head matchups against Edmonton. Edmonton has not been able to stop them whatsoever. They haven't held Winnipeg fewer than 27 points in any of these 6 games. So I think Winnipeg gets theirs. Edmonton's probably going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw it around, and you could see garbage time scores and garbage time points. So I'm on the over here in this game to get the card started. Over 50.5 minus 110.
Bobano on the over 50.5 at minus 110. I think it's interesting that Nuke is on the Elks and Nuke's talking about the Elks, playing the best 2 teams in the league to start out the year. Big shout out to our guy, Troy.
To be honest with you, I do lean to the Elks. I do.
I do too.
I want to find a spot to fade Winnipeg. Obviously, I thought week 1 could be. No. Week 2, I thought last week was a good spot. No. So I'm a little bit cooling off on that sentiment to fade Winnipeg. Not to mention, look, the series history's been ridiculously lopsided, Jimmy. That's what's keeping me off Edmonton, too. Look at these scores. 45-25, 27-14, 55-27, 20. These games haven't even been competitive with the Elks and the Bombers in recent years, so that scares me, too.
Let me ask a couple. We got to move quickly here. I know everyone wanted to talk MLB, and we're almost there. And happy birthday to our guy, Troy Torrance. 33 years old today, our guy, Troy. Happy birthday.
I wish we could trade ages, but happy birthday, Troy.
That's just wonderful. Troy, happy birthday, my man, for real. So a couple things here. There was a sentiment that this Elks linebacking crew had consistency and was going to be really good this year. Do we give up on that?
They haven't shown it yet. I don't know if we give it up because it's still only a couple of games. You got to leave the door open for improvement. But I feel like we've been leaving the door open for improvement for this Edmonton Elks team, especially on defense, for 3 fucking years. Seriously. And we're still not seeing that improvement and that tangible. Yeah, they look better now than last week. They look better 2 weeks from now than the previous game. We're not seeing that. We don't see progress still from this stop unit. There's no pass rush. The secondary, they look lost. They just cut one of their players that they thought was going to be big time for them. And they cut him this past week because he was that bad in the first 2 games. So Mark Killam and his defensive coaching staff, they're scrambling a little bit right now. Not what you want to see.
So that team total at 19 or 19.5 for the Elks, that, on the over, that must have appealed to you somewhat,
So if you like Edmonton here, team total's the way to go, in my opinion, because this defense, to me, cannot be trusted. And I think even with Winnipeg looking a little off, first of all, Winnipeg always plays better on offense at home in that stadium, and I would expect that more of the same here. If you're going to take Edmonton, trust the offense rather than trust the defense. So the team total is an option. Another option would be, and even I might do this as someone that's kind of interested in Edmonton, is I want to wait till they inevitably get behind, because they always seem to fall behind. And then they score a bunch of points in the second half like they did last week against Montreal. A live bet on Edmonton. You can get, if you get, 17 plus 20, something like that, or a live team total even on Edmonton. I'd be more interested in Edmonton live than Edmonton pregame.
So I've got to you guys know, the Elks are just my Achilles heel, and I would like to move with them here. I still don't know if I can do that. So I'm going to keep capping this one here, but Bobano's moved on the over 50.5. Bobano, very, very quickly, your Ticats, you got a great night tomorrow night, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. The Alouettes, Ticats tomorrow night. Questions around whether Davis Alexander will be a quarterback. Take it away. you have a move in Alouettes Ticats on Friday night?
Yeah, I bet Montreal early in the week, and it moved through the key number of 3. And it's back down to 2.5 because Davis Alexander's out. Austin Mack is out. Dylan Wynn is out. So those are 3 impact players for Montreal not playing in this game. That being said, Austin Mack, they can survive without him. That's a loaded receiving core. Tyler Sneed, Cole Speaker, you go on down, Charleston Rambo. They got plenty there to work with. Of course, Tyson Philpott, they're fine still at receiver, even without Mack. They'll miss Wynn from a D-line perspective, although the D-line's been really good getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And, of course, they'll miss Davis Alexander. Say what you will, an MBT, look, he's a good, solid, serviceable veteran backup quarterback. But 3 games with Davis Alexander, he's playing at an MOP level in this league. There is no question about it. He's doing Patrick Mahomes stuff last week against Edmonton, where he's scrambling, scambling. He flips his hips on the run and just throws a dart to a wide open receiver in the end zone against Edmonton last week. Like, that's not the kind of shit McLeod Bethel Thompson's capable of. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to miss without Davis Alexander here in this game tonight. You lose the mobility factor. You lose the ability to throw accurately on the run because you need a stationary, clean pocket for McLeod Bethel Thompson to be effective. And once in a while, McLeod Bethel Thompson does make the odd questionable decision. He does. And we've seen that over the years as well. Davis Alexander, another thing that made him so great early in the year, he's protecting the football. He's not turning it over early in the season. So it hurts for Montreal. But they've got such a good team around MBT. It's just go in there and don't screw it up. That's got to be what Jason Moss says to MBT, or MBT's got to have that mindset. Because I got a good run game. I've got an excellent defense that's been awesome so far. Special teams is good. Maltos is a hell of a kicker. He's been great this year. Just don't screw it up with mistakes. And I still think Montreal can beat them. Look, Montreal faced an inferior team last week as well, Edmonton, who was coming off a bye, and it didn't matter. Montreal was just the better team. Same thing I feel here, and I hate to say that as a Ticat fan. I just feel Montreal is just such a better, well-rounded team. Now, I'm not going to make it official now without Davis Alexander. That was a big component in me liking Montreal a lot. I still would only take them. I don't trust Hamilton. They've got a couple of injuries going into this game as well. For me, it's still, especially now that it's back below a field goal, I would still only look at the Alouettes side. They're playing very good football, and Hamilton just finds ways to lose, and I'd be worried about that happening to them yet again.
I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for MBT to get the chance, and you'll be live at the game. Going to be a beautiful night. Lions, Rough Riders, Saturday. Take it away. We got to be tight.
Okay, so this is the one where, if I did this show yesterday or Tuesday with you, I think this is the best bet on the card this week. And unfortunately, it's gone. It was BC plus 5.5. BC team total over 22.5 against the undefeated Riders. And now all of a sudden you know what? We've still got a couple books have 23.5, and Bet99's got 22.5 with the BC team total. So I can still go ahead and make that official. I can't make BC official with the point spread now that it's down to 2.5. I mean, I was able to get 5.5. It's just too much of a move, but I will put BC team total over 22.5 minus 125 at Bet99 on the card. That is actually very close to the number I got with the team total when I bet BC, because I split it between BC plus 5.5, BC team total over 22.5. Trevor Harris is not going to play, or at least it sure looks that way. He hasn't practiced all week. He's 39 years old. They're 3-0 to start the year. There's no urgency. We don't have to rush him out there. There's fear that he might have had a mild concussion last week against Toronto. So it sounds like they're just we're going to be safe instead of sorry, and we're not going to start Trevor Harris. And you know what that means, Jimmy? It's the crux of this bet for me. It means Jake Mayer is the quarterback, who I think was about as god-freaking awful as a quarterback could be last year for the Calgary Stampeders. And I know it's a new team. The offensive coordinator for the Riders has done a nice job. But boy, oh boy, he even in the preseason, I saw one of the games he played, just an awful red zone interception. I don't even know what he was looking at when he made the throw. in that preseason game. And just more of the same shit that I saw with him last year in Calgary. Just bad decisions, inaccuracies, and just not really good enough to play start at quarterback in this league. So he's going to be the starter now for Saskatchewan. And Farhan Lalji of TSN seems to believe that Nathan Rourke is trending toward playing and returning. It's looking better and better. Cautious optimism is the word they're using, but if you look at it, he got more reps yesterday than he did the day before, and I think he's probably going to get more reps today than yesterday. I think he's going to play. It sure looks like he's trending toward playing, and I think there might be a little more urgency for BC to have him play here, knowing how much Mcelvy struggled last week. 2 straight losses to Winnipeg. I think there's definitely going to be maybe a little more urgency for Buck Pierce to go with Nathan Rourke. And if it's Nathan Rourke versus Jake Mayer, we all know who has the quarterback advantage in that game. You got BC off 2 losses. You got Saskatchewan 3-0 with no urgency. Saskatchewan, by the way, that's another thing too. Laying points with Saskatchewan when it was 5.5. That's tricky. They barely escaped Toronto. They hung on for dear life against Ottawa. To be able to win games by margin for Saskatchewan, that's where I trust. That's where I think it can get a little tricky for them. So I thought it was a great bet. Took it at plus 5.5. Obviously, that number's long gone. But I still like the BC team total, over 22.5. Worth noting with that Lions team total, despite the 3-0 start, Saskatchewan has given up 23 points or more in all 3 of those games, despite the 3-0 start. So
Their
all we
defenses
need
look
is
bad.
Yes, that struggled.
Actually bad.
Other than Milligan and maybe a little bit of the guys on the D line, hasn't looked as good as I thought for a defensive-minded head coach like Corey Mace coaching that team. So the BC team total, I don't know about touching the 2.5. You can if you like. It's just a really bad number now. But the team total, there's still plenty of value, in my opinion. 22.5 against a Saskatchewan team that's given up 23 plus in every game so far.
And what was the juice on that?
Minus 125.
All right, you are in business. And the final spot on the board, the Red Blacks hosting the Argos on Sunday, the 29th. And we got to be tight here, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Argos here. I know they're undefeated. Dustin Crum got practice reps yesterday. First sign that probably, at least as of now, it doesn't look like Bob Dice is trying to make it sound like the door's still open for Drew Brown to play here. Dustin Crum took all the reps yesterday. They didn't even see Drew Brown out there. I have a feeling it's Dustin Crum again. And look, Dustin Crum, give him credit. First start, beats Calgary last week. But if you saw that game, first of all, I don't trust Calgary's defense yet. Second of all, they played that game in a damn monsoon. So let's be careful about saying, wow, Dustin Crum looked better than expected. Well, Calgary's defense has concerns, and it was a rainstorm and wind. And I think it was a benefit to Ottawa that the weather was like that, because Calgary couldn't throw the football very well. And we know Dustin Crum doesn't throw the football very well. They didn't have to in those conditions because the run game got going, the quarterback run RPO game got going, and that suits Dustin Crum in that offense well. So I need to see more, though, from Dustin Crum. I'm not ready to say after one win that the Ottawa offense with him under center is great. Toronto's in bad way. I don't deny that whatsoever. They haven't looked good. They found ways to loot. Defense has really struggled, and they're going to be without Winton McManus, I think, again. That's concerning. But I do think there's legit value as a slight dog here on Toronto. You're going to get them in a sense of urgency mode. Ryan Dinwiddie just lost it post-game last week after the Saskatchewan loss, saying, I'm going to start cutting guys if you keep taking these penalties, selfish penalties. And they had how many yards of penalties? Like 200, almost 20 penalties in that game against Saskatchewan last week. Terrible. So I think it's a kind of a tirade to whip them into shape, light a fire under their ass. And Nick Arbuckle actually played well. It was his best game. He struggled big time early in the season for the Argos, filling in for Kelly. But it was his best game by far last week against Saskatchewan. But penalties killed them. Way too many penalties. And, of course, they give up the kick return touchdown in the dying seconds to Mario Alford to lose that game to the right. But it was a winnable game for Toronto. If this is a winnable game, too, against a weaker Ottawa team, to be able to take plus 2.5, minus 104, I'll take it in a spot like this. I'm not ready to lay points with Dustin Crum in this Ottawa team, who I still don't think have a great defense either, period. So Toronto for me, Jimmy, plus 2.5, minus 104.
You got it, Bobano. Great stuff. Bobano on the over 50.5 in Edmonton, Winnipeg. On the Lions team total over 22.5 minus 125 in the Argos plus 2.5. I still am probably going to end up having something to do with the Elks, but I'm going to need a few hours to build up confidence and think about it longer. And then we'll do the breakdown of the rest of the CFL games tomorrow. Excellent work from Bobano. We move to the Diamond. I know you guys are pumped up about the Diamond. We've been destroying baseball this week and for a little bit now. So let's attack the board, my friend. We start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. So we have 33 minutes before first pitch of these three games. The Athletics 33-49. 18-22 on the road. Detroit Tigers 50-31, 27-13 at home. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Let's get into the weather. I have moved on the first three under 2.5 at plus 100 in this one. Let's go into the Swish Analytics and the Ballpark Pal for weather. And this is the only first three under I'm on right now. And after losing that first one yesterday, I hit 4 straight. We have 85 Fahrenheit, feels like 92, 6.3 miles per hour right to left. Gets up to 7.2 miles per hour. We got Rod Zwacky in the house. Great to see you, Rod, as well. Let's get to Ballpark Pal's expectation here. We have Comerica plus 6%. It's minus 6% homers, plus 4% doubles and triples, and plus 12% singles. Jason Meyer leaning Oakland. I mean, the market would tell you that Oakland is the move here. And I still got cold feet and only moved on the first three under. Let's take a look at what the line is doing now. We have Detroit at minus 149. So it opened up at minus 156. This got down at 9:30 this morning when I was looking at it. There'd been a 20-cent move away from them, minus 136, but it's come back. It got up to minus 151 a couple times. Now we're at minus 149. So overall, there's 7 cents of movement away from the Tigers. The Athletics have gone from plus 148 to plus 137. Let's get to this total here. This total is an 8.5. It's juiced to the over. It did get up to 9 for a cup of coffee. Now, this total wasn't open for action until 8:09 a.m., so it hasn't been around for long. It went up to 9 for a cup of coffee after being available for 45 minutes. It came back to 8.5. Right now, though, we've had 3 cents of movement on the under overall. We get to the board here for the cash flow. We have 61% of the tickets on the over, 64% of cash on the over. It was a lot more tickets and money on the over earlier. So there's money that's coming on the under, although it hasn't changed the line at all. 63% of the tickets on the Tigers, but just 38% of the cash on them. 62% of the cash is on Springs and the Athletics. Kong kind of liking Oakland here. Well, it'd be because of Jeffrey Springs. And the A's have been good on the road. 18-22 for a team that's 16 games under 500. And the Tigers have been excellent, of course, at Comerica. Troy says Athletics win this game 47% of the time, which means there is some value. Jeffrey Springs is a really good pitcher, and he's coming off a great start. Now, that great start happened at home where he had been struggling. And he had a great start. But it was against the Guardians, who can't hit lefties. He allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. Went 7 1/3 and 6 Ks with a walk. On the road this year, he's been quite a bit better than he's been at home. You know, it's a tough park to pitch in at home. 20 earned runs over 8 starts. He's allowed just 5 home runs over 47 innings. 224 opponent's batting average. Lefties are hitting him. He's got the reverse splits. And the thing is, for me, is I couldn't get past. And True Teller saying Tigers 21-9 is home favorite. I couldn't get past what the Tigers have been doing to lefties. Last 30 days, 283, 849 OPS. But I'm still on the first 3 under 2.5 because I know I have a really good pitcher on the mound against a team that hits lefties hard. Then the question mark, of course, is Dietrich Enns. Dietrich Enns has earned this opportunity. He was in Japan for 3 years.
They didn't hit a lefty last night when I needed them to, Detroit.
That is true. That is true.
He's
and
not a very good one either, Jacob Lopez. The hell did that come from?
Spooner had that prediction. He was on that Tigers team total under and nailed it here. Spooner says, I believe I heard someone say Jeffrey Springs is a really good pitcher. Got to get my ears checked. So, not everybody obviously believes that Jeffrey Springs is a really good
He
pitcher.
has been in the past, but this year not so much.
I'm not going to let the Spooner intimidate me here, Bobano. I think he's a really good pitcher. I do. And I think he shows that often. And it's a tough ballpark that he pitches in. First off, quick shout out to our guy, Parlangel. So proud of my boy, AJ, and my 1400 baseball squad won the USA AAA World Series last night. Oh, that's wonderful news, Parlangel. And AJ, what a ball player you got, man. What a fun thing. And congratulations. You're a great coach and leading these young men. Congratulations. Richly deserved, my friend. So, Ends, I don't see why Ends wouldn't deliver here. I don't. He's been excellent with Toledo, 2.89 ERA, 71 strikeouts and 15 walks, 62 and a third, 1.22 whip. He had a great first year in Japan, terrible second year, and a great third year. This is a guy who's earned this opportunity, and the A's don't hit lefties, 205, 615 OPS. By taking the first three under, I believe in Jeffrey Springs. I fear the Tigers' bats. Both bullpens have been terrible. 5.78 ERA, 1.58 whip for the A's bullpen last 30 days, while the Tigers' bullpen is a 4.29 ERA, 1.27 whip. Canadian Capper says Ends has developed 2 more pitches. He used to have only 2 pitches in his arsenal. Take it away for us, Bobano. This one popping off in 28 minutes, Athletics Tigers.
Yeah, fascinating game. 3-0, obviously, last night in favor of the A's. Credit to Jacob Lopez. Did not see him shutting out the Tigers, but he did. Pitched well. Flaherty was pretty solid, but when you don't get any run support, you're going to be in trouble. You're right. That was his best start of the season, other than maybe that game against San Francisco. But since that start, that was his best start, the Cleveland outing. 1 run, 3 hits, 7.1 innings. It was very solid. He's actually won 2 starts in a row. What are we going to get from Dietrich? Ends is the question. It's going to be his first major league start first major league start, but first major league appearance in a few years. He's definitely been around the block now. He is pitching well here in at the AAA level with Toledo. Can that translate here is the big question. I did consider this game over the total, but Springs did bounce back, and after what I saw from the Tigers against Jacob Lopez, I've got Jeffrey Springs higher up than Jacob Lopez. So if they're struggling to hit him, even though the numbers are very good for Detroit against lefties of late, the fact they didn't hit Jacob Lopez is concerning to me, because I do think Jeffrey Springs has a better upside than he does. So I ended up passing this game. It would be just a small. I actually think there's some value on the A's here a little bit, but not really interested in fading Detroit off a shutout home loss. So it's a pass for me on this game.
I get it. I'm on the first 2.5. I'm not adding anything to it. I can understand the feel that the Athletics are sharp. If I had a free bet, I would move on them, and I understand the implied probability makes sense. I also think that Jeffrey Springs' career numbers of 29 and 17 with a 3.57 ERA and a 1.24 whip are really good. Spooner. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next spot on the board here. And look, I am Gossman's biggest fan. He looks terrible on the road. He's coming off a bad start at home. Is he dealing with arm fatigue? This is an older pitcher. I am on the Guardians on the -1 line at +116. Let's talk about this spot here, Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's get into the weather here. And Troy says, take away Springs numbers in AAA ballparks. His numbers are great. Thank you. Thank you, Troy. It's going to be fun. It's always fun not agreeing with our friends. It makes things more enjoyable and exciting. Maybe not enjoyable. 85 Fahrenheit is the weather. It feels like 92, 5.4 miles per hour in. Gets up to 6.3 miles per hour. A Ballpark Pal has this Progressive Field plus 11% overall, plus 14% homers, plus 4% doubles and triples, and plus 3% singles. Troy Torrance has given this the skull and bones, and the market has indicated that this is exactly that. And I was, a little surprised. This opened up at some books at 8.5 juice to the under. This opened up at 6 p.m. where I get it at 8, and it immediately went to 7.5. Well, 52 minutes, which is pretty immediate. Then it got back to 8. Now we're bouncing back and forth from 7.5 to 8, 7.5 to 8. We've had a half run move. It's the same amount of the opener was under 8 minus 114. Now we have 7.5 minus 114. So a very legitimate move by the market that this game will be low scoring. On the money line here, we have the Guardians minus 133. This line has just continued to move in their direction. And that's because of the splits, really. We'll talk about Bybee first, but let's also talk about the cash flow. Troy Torrance has the first 3 under and the full game under. 55% of the tickets are on the Guardians and 61% of cash is on the Jays. And we've just seen this constant move towards the Guardians. We have 55% of tickets on the over and 60% of cash on the under. Rem, I'm going to stay focused here, my friend. It's not a story that, I should also double down on that story and see if any amends have been made. I will do that. I've been meaning to do that for the last few weeks, and I'll do that. We have Bybee, 3.86 ERA, 1.23 whip on the year. His last start was a 5-1 loss at the Athletics, AAA ballpark. He got lit up and smoked, 4 earned runs. He didn't look good. But at home, he's only allowed 10 earned runs in 6 starts, averaging 6 innings a start, 229 opponents batting average. He's only allowed 3 home runs. Now, lefties hit him pretty hard, and we'll go over the dangerous left-handed bats in that lineup. The Jays are hitting righties hard right now. Last 30 days, 265, 796, while the Guardians are 236, 88. Both bullpens have been very good as well. Robert Cherry is on the Blue Jays. I am on the Guardians. Take it away here for us, Bobano. Jays Guardians.
Yeah, this is a no bet for me, although I will say I don't trust Gausman either at the moment. I don't like what I've seen. It's a I don't know. He's just the hard hit rates going up. He's giving up home runs, a little more propensity to do that than we've become accustomed to. He doesn't have things settled right now to the level we've seen in the past. Like, he's given up 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. That's concerning. 11 runs, 9.1 innings in his last 2 outings. It's not a guy I'm running to bet. Bybee got smashed last time we saw him, although I guess a lot of it was later in the game. He went 8 innings. It was later in the game when they did the damage. 5 runs, 11 hits against the A's in that game. Cleveland with the win yesterday. It's the rubber match. It's I don't trust Gausman enough to take draw. I'm still not laying a price like this, though, with Cleveland. The offense is still a little spotty for my liking prior to the 11 runs they've scored in this series, which is actually the Blue Jays have kind of helped their lineup get going again. But before that, really hadn't been hitting all that well. I agree with maybe this could be low scoring just because of the fact you had 2 pretty high scoring games in hot weather. Now you've got an early getaway day game, early afternoon, 2 pitchers that when they're on, they're capable, and the fact that it's much cooler today at first pitch in Cleveland. The humidity's starting to drop a little bit. So I understand the under people in this game that maybe like that side of it. But for me, no action, no bet, pass.
I am on the Guardians -1 at +116. Barger has been stepping up, and Heineman, for whatever reason, torches the Guardians. But you'd have to say this is a very weak group of left-handed bats. Nathan Lucas batting 2nd, Barger 4th, Jimenez 6th, and then you have Clase and Heineman as the switch hitters here.
And Heineman's cooling off. You knew he wasn't a 400 hitter. That's a bunch of nonsense. You knew he was going to cool off eventually.
Oh, yeah. But he is a career 3-something hitter against the Guardians. He just seems to love hitting in this ballpark. Gausman allowed 7 earned runs his last start, 4 and a third. Has allowed 24 earned runs in 8 road starts. And he hasn't been, the homers have come at home that he's been allowed. For a while, he was much better on the road this year than he was at home, which had the opposite splits last year. And Sly One saying Clement's on fire. Yes, Jose was astonished when I said that we expect Clement to make the All-Star team about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and we still do up here. The journeyman has earned all this. I love seeing that stuff. Okay, so I'm on the Guardians -1. Look, Troy says let's talk about the reverse splits. Let's talk about the Guardians' week hitting against righties, 236, 88 OPS. Both bullpens have been quite strong. Yeah, I mean, the market's telling us this is an under. And I don't trust Kevin Gausman right now. And I watch him pitch. And But the market is indicating that that's the move to make. And I often feel, Bobano, I'm jealous of the cappers who have models and don't watch the games. And they don't have the biases that we get watching the games. And I've been a big Gossman fan for a long time. I'm off of the total, but the market is clearly indicating that you're on the right side there, Troy. Let's talk about our next.
One thing it's worth mentioning, not to deter the underbetters, but it's worth mentioning. 9 straight in the series have had 8 or more runs between the Jays and Guardians. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to that, but that's 9 straight head-to-head meetings, 8 or more runs.
Yeah, that's wild. But I mean, the Jays' offense has just been so much bigger or better than we expected. Let me just get this. I'll get that UFC contest up for you, John. I have not forgotten. I'll just wait till Jose gets rolling with us. Let's talk about the Mariners and the Twins. Target Field in
there we go. We got some action finally.
Minnesota. Yeah. Emerson Hancock. Oh, Kong. What's key? I just that I watched Gossman, and I've never seen him look more hittable. Yep. The velocity is not always there. It is sometimes. You'll see it, but it's not always there. There's the movement isn't always there. He seems to fatigue, which would still set up for the first 3 under.
Like when that start against Arizona at home fell apart for him. It fell apart. It just gone. Yeah.
And also another thing about watching and studying these first 3 lines for a long time. The first 3 right now, I guess let's move to minus 150. There's been a move towards the under, and these moves have worked here. So I get why you guys are moving on it here. Black Thor King on junk over 3.5 Ks as his play of the day. Sly one saying this line's moving towards the Mariners. I had a close eye on this last night. Redbeard's on the over. Truth Teller liking the over in that Guardian Jays game. Let's roll here. Oh, and you got the first 3 at minus 120. That's great work, Troy, because minus 150 now. You got to feel like you're in a very good situation. And Truth Teller just moved on the over in that Guardians Jays game. Here we go, Bobano. We're going to hear your best bets after this one. We have Wine Time on the over 9 in Twins Mariners. Irish King said he's all over this game. We have Emerson Hancock going up against Simeon Woods Richardson. Now, I have tried to back up Emerson Hancock's difficult outings. But he's coming off another one. 4 innings and 9 earned runs and a 10-7 loss at the Cubs. I believe in the kid. Obviously, 6th overall pick. I mean, it's not hard to... There's a reason why the Mariners with great young pitching have kept him, out there every 5 days. Sly one is with Spoon on these Seattle Mariners. So Spooner's also on the Tigers -1 for that early MLB action. He'll be joining us here shortly. Let's talk about the weather first in Minnesota because there is some concern whether there's going to be a delay or a rain out. The rain out is becoming a more likely possibility. It's not supposed to stop raining ever. It's supposed to just rain all the way through today. 6.3 miles, but not heavy. 6.3 miles per hour in 63 Fahrenheit, and that's what it feels like as well. Gets up to 7.2 miles per hour in. We got MLG Beavis on the Mariners money line. Truth Teller on the Mariners money line. And Swaggy McNolegs with a new nickname for our friend Emerson Hancock. He calls him foot penis. It's better than mouth cock, which is what Sonny was calling him. Robert Franklin also on Seattle money line. Let's get into the line history here, and let's take a look at what Ballpark Pal expects for this spot in Minnesota. They have this target field -6% overall, -9% homers, -11% doubles and triples, and +2% singles. Those of you who are very uncomfortable with these 2 young pitchers on the mound, these bullpens, the Mariners bullpen's been mediocre, but this Twins bullpen's by far the worst in baseball over the last 30 days. We have the Twins at -119. They opened up at -118. There's, been a 1 cent move towards them. That's it. From a total standpoint here, we have a 9 -112 to the under. It's opened up -114 to the under. When we get to that cash flow here, we have the 60% of the tickets and 74% of the cash on Seattle. I would, if there's 60% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the side that I wanted, I would want the line to move in their direction and handsomely, and that's not happening here. We have 51% of tickets, 51% of cash on the over. I find this coin flippy. Spencer Woods Richardson 2-4, 5.06 ERA. Oh, by the way, one last thing about Emerson Hancock is, he's been bad on the road and at home. He's not been better at home really. In 7 road starts, 21 earned runs allowed, 8 home runs allowed. He's allowed 6 at home, 287 opponents batting average. Simeon Woods Richardson is very talented young pitcher. He's coming off a 9-0 loss at home versus the Brewers, but he had a quality start, 3 earned runs in 6 innings, 4 runs overall, but 3 earned. And at home, he's been better, 25 2/3. God, he's not been. He's been the same, 13 earned runs. Both these guys are just kind of bad. Just kind of bad. Mariners versus Righties, 260, 740 OPS. Twins versus Righties, 244, 733 OPS. And then I went over the bullpens. And the weather is an issue. Take it away, Bobano, my friend, Mariners Twins.
I'm very, when I see that it's 80% chance of rain and the tarp's already on the field here pregame before it even starts, I'm always tempted to just say, maybe not make anything official for the show when I say this. I hate being involved in rain games, but I did bet these. I really like these looks as far as 2 of my favorite looks on the board, but Mariners in the over. I like both of them a lot here, and I'll still go ahead and make them official. Again, don't know if this game's going to get played or get completed, but I still like both looks. I wish I had more enlightening analysis than this, but I see the Twins are favored. I go the other way. It's really become that simple for me the last week or two. They're right now. They can't get out of their own way. Could they get things back on track? Yes, they did finally win yesterday, so maybe there was a little pep in their step. But bullpen's been a disaster. It's obviously been a 9 ERA almost in the last 10 games alone. Dreadful numbers. They haven't been hitting in the clutch. Obviously, the starting pitching's been a problem, other than maybe Joe Ryan. But Woods Richardson, you mentioned it, not great numbers at home. Seattle obviously has been hitting the ball much better of late, especially than Minnesota. Now, I'm not a big Hancock fan. That's why I like the over here, because I think the Twins could do some damage. But and he struggled in his last start, but he was pitching okay before that, and I do trust him a little bit more. I trust him a little bit more than Woods Richardson. I trust the Seattle lineup more than Minnesota's, and I like the value you're getting with Seattle. I know they finally won a game, but like I said, but this is how bad Minnesota's been. I see them favored. I'm compelled to go against them. So Seattle plus 115. Best price out there, and over 8.5 minus 120.
You are in business, my friend. Now let's go into best bets. Is there anything that you want to make official for our record-keeping purposes and for us to discuss throughout the rest of the show?
Yeah, obviously most of the card is day games today. I think there's really only one night game, and that's the Braves and the Mets. Everything else is a day game today. The only other 2 bets I think I will go. Actually, we'll go with 3. Because I think there's still a 12 out there. I will go with, let's do Dodgers-Rockies over 12, minus 115. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. Dodgers have been racking the Rockies pitching in this series, but I do not trust Kershaw either to shut the door. He's had issues at Coors in the past. I think it's a spot for the Rockies to get their bats going a little bit here. I could see a shit ton of runs in that game. So I do like over 12. Minus 115, Dodgers and Rockies. And we'll go with another side and total in the same game. Very similar to Mariners Twins. We will go with the Rays and the over versus Kansas City. Hitting conditions, wind blowing out at Kauffman. And to me, this is just sometimes, and Boz is an issue. Boz can be hit or miss. He's got a 4.83 ERA. He was not particularly good last start against Detroit, where he gave up 5 runs in 5.1 innings, but I'm not a big fan of Michael Lorenzen. Quite honestly, I think Tampa Bay's lineup, red hot. And again, you're getting a very reasonable price to bet Tampa Bay again. Tampa Bay's a good road team. I think people are losing sight of that. Because I was on Tampa, Jimmy, in the first 2 games of this series against Kansas City. I think you had Tampa Bay one night in this series as well. I just think they're dramatically undervalued baseball team right now, this Tampa Bay team. And you're going to give me a Tampa team that's 10 games above 500, 18 and 12 on the road. They're 6 above 500 on the road, and KC is 2 games below 500 at home. So, to me, I think there's more great value on the Rays. I don't always love the spots where you're going against a team that's trying to avoid a sweep, especially at home. That's the only concern I would have, or reservation, but I still can't turn down this value, to get as low as minus 118 right now with Tampa Bay. I'm going to take that, and I'm also on over 10, minus 110.
And
good weather conditions for hitting.
Sorry, I know you just said it, but what was that Rays juice? Rays
minus 118.
Minus 118. Thank you, Bobano. Double up there. Tampa Bay, KC over 10, and the Rays. Also, Dodgers, Colorado over 12. Mariners and the over 8.5. It's important.
Lean Astros, don't. Just the price is a little too pricey for me, but I'm a Hunter Brown guy.
Oh, yeah. God, I love him. It's going to be a fun cap, that one, but I've stayed off that first rounder too. Excellent work here from our guy, Mr. Ian Cameron. Ian, you have now a lot of focus on, of course, the big baseball show that's over at the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. Hitting the Books YouTube channel going to pop off because I imagine you'll have the college football breakdowns, preseason expectations for schools coming out. Now, of course, he's the star of the Ice Guys and the NBA OG show, so we're going to get that. But in this time of year, it's going to be all baseball. And also,
we should be pumping up Hitting the Books. I know I got the Ice Guys in the NBA, but we're not seeing the Ice Guys in the NBA for another few months. So, yeah, that's what we should be talking about. Hitting the Books, C-Mac, the Miggity Mac Daddy, Connor Mack, and yours truly. We all love that guy. I do. I've been doing shows with him for years. A lot of fun. Hitting the Books, MLB, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 days a week. And yes, once we get to the All-Star break in MLB, we are going to start unveiling some college football season preview content on the Hitting the Books show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We will get you ready for college football, season win totals, conference winners, that kind of stuff. We're looking forward to it. C-Mac and I will get you going for college football in just a few weeks. Once we hit the All-Star break in MLB, we're going to start doing some college football previews on the channel. So looking forward to that. Always enjoy being on with you guys. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Jimmy, good luck to you. Good luck to everyone in the chat. Always good to be on a Thursday on Betting with the Bag. Good luck to all. We'll see you again next week.
There he is, Ian Cameron in the house. And great stuff from Ian. We got Kristen Hess also ready to get to work. So we've attacked those 1:10 p.m. games, and we are now ready to move on to the other afternoon spots. So let's just do a quick review here of those 1:10 p.m. games. First 3 under 2.5 at plus 100 for me in A's Tigers. Guardians -1 at plus 116, but clearly the market is telling us that this is going to be a low scoring game, and both Gossman and Bybee will pitch well, and I may rue the fact that I'm not on that first 300, but it is the case. Now, Troy getting the -120. I could have got a -125. I believe it's -125 earlier, but now it's -150. So it's a great sign for those of you who've moved on it. Then we have the Twins game, which we are not sure if it will go. We will not sure if it will go at this point, but Mariners for a lot of cappers in the chat, and then Bobano on the Mariners and the over 8.5. I'm off of that spot. All right, let's move on here. We have one game that we are capping, and then we have Justin Mcelvy with a live stacks play of the day here. We also have our co-host and producer of this fair show ready to rock from his home in San Antonio, Texas. So without further ado, please welcome our friend Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, we've had 2 monstrous days. Excellent work, my friend, both in the double-digit units. That's exactly what we said we wanted to have happen, and now it's happened. And now we need 20, because one bad week, this is red. And so we must keep winning. But great work these last 2 days. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right. You had I had a measly day compared to you. Fucking old 9-1.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not used to it. So it feels good. Let's quickly touch. We have 5 minutes to the 1:10 p.m. games. Now we know that the Twins game is being pushed or may not start. A's Tigers, are you moving on that?
No, the only game that I was semi-interested in was the Guardians game. Guardians fucking Toronto. I the market's seemingly saying that, like you mentioned, that old Gosman, though he might pitch well, it doesn't seem like the Blue Jays are going to win. There's a big line movement to the Guardians here. I was shocked to see this line at minus 130 for Kevin Gosman. I thought there was a little more respect for him, but you mentioned his home road splits and such. So it's probably going to be a Guardians bet for me here. I just wanted to go over the market here. I can't fucking find this stupid ass game for the damn splits right now. I think I have to refresh, but
I've got him here. So
Guardians. There's 62% of the money, 52% of the bets on the under here, and it's gone down quite a bit, like you mentioned, Jimmy. And I want to refresh my total here. So it seems like Guardians and the under is the move here. I think the move to the under honestly makes me feel better about the Guardians. So I'm just going to take the Guardians straight, and I'll tell you what price I have that at right now. God, I don't like laying the juice, but I'll take it. Minus 137 for the Cleveland Guardians full game money line. Officially just bet.
All right. We got Jose in also on the Guardians, minus 137. Spooner dealing with some sound issues. He's going to be joining us here shortly. We have one game that we're going to cap before we have our guy Justin Mcelvy, star of the Stacks Play Today, giving out stacks in person, which he's going to be doing on these Thursdays as we move forward. And I'm very excited about that. Mr. Belvedere also on the Guardians, minus 117, and the over in that Rays Royals game.
Oh my God, 117, so good. Shout out to you, Lynn Belvedere.
Yeah, man, Mr. Belvedere, he gets in when his timing is very, very good on these spots. And again, this is the first time I've had more than one bet coming to the show. I did want to be calm. There was more about wanting to be calm. That's why I sent you the records late, Jose. I was like, you know what? I need to have the bets in so I'm not all panicky here.
That's fine.
BJ got in at minus 110 last night. Again, I need the signs from the market. And look, I've been doing this a long time, and if that's the only way I can win, well, then it's just going to have to happen. I'll come to the shows with NHL and NBA and CFL, but
with MLB, you just come with a lot of energy, and a vim and vigor.
Thank you. Let's get that vim and vigor right now. We had Sharpie give us this. He is the first 7 under 5.5, as well as over 1.5 double plays. Over 1.5 double plays at plus 140. Sanchez is the top 5 ground ball pitcher in the best place for ground balls, and Brown leads the league in double plays turned by a starting pitcher. There we go.
I mean, that makes sense. The cap makes sense. That's an awesome bet.
We have TJ here, and he's on that over 7.5 in Toronto, Cleveland. By the way, he's on the over 8.5 in Oakland, Detroit. We'll go over he's on Seattle money line if that game goes. We'll go over his other action. TJ went 7-0 yesterday. It was group effort. TJ. The success was a group effort.
By the way, Jimmy, so that double play bet, is that pitcher specific? You said? So that's to be Sanchez's double plays or just full game?
No. It's just any double plays.
And that's both teams?
Yeah.
That's crazy. 2 double plays in one game? That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
We got Cactus Black in the house. BJ saying rain delay in Mariners Twins. Robert Franklin on the under 7. So I had the first 3 under 1.5 queued up, and I did not pull the trigger. And maybe it's because of what we saw yesterday in the Skeens game. Maybe that's playing in my head. It probably is. I just, but let's roll here. Phillies, Houston. We're in Dyken Park in Houston, Texas, where the Astros are 29-13, 14 games under 500. You have Christopher Sanchez, 6-2, 2.87 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. He's been excellent this year. Coming off a 2-1 win at the Marlins, he shut them down. 8 innings, 1 earned run allowed. He's only allowed 13 earned runs in 8 starts. 238 opponents batting average. Lefties don't touch him at all. Righties are hitting 243, 672 off him. So you have a chance if you have a right-handed bat. Hunter Brown has been Cy worthy. 1.88 ERA, 0.92 whip, 109 strikeouts in 91 innings. His last start, he went 5 innings, allowed a solo shot, 4 Ks and 2 walks, and 3-2 extra inning win at the Angels. At home this year, he's allowed 5 earned runs in 6 starts. Justin McCelvy, he'll be joining us here on our next game, says he wants to bet the Phillies. Against Brown, it doesn't matter if you're a lefty or a righty, you're unlikely to get a hit. His splits are phenomenal. Now, the Astros have fantastic numbers against lefties, but we've seen this as a very low-scoring series. Astros hitting 291, 936 OPS for lefties last 30 days. Phillies are not hitting righties very hard, 256, 740. I mean, they're hitting pretty well. And these bullpens have been struggling, but you wouldn't know that from watching this series. We have a full game under here for Troy and the Phillies team, total under. Why am I not on the first 3 under? I'm curious to see if it's moved. Now, we watched that Skeens first 3 under 1.5 yesterday go from plus 105 to minus 120 just during our show. So let's see what it's doing here and if I should, pull the trigger.
But by the way, again, shout out to Dabby Cab. Another first 5 over 3, 3.5, and the full game stays under.
Yes. So this is done
the
the
first
opposite.
5 over went over later today and that day as well. The one you wanted to bet too, right?
Which because
Marlins Giants, I think it was.
Yeah. No, the Marlins Giants was one I got. The market took me off the under. Again, yesterday, just to go over it quickly here, Guardians first 5, cash, the Scherzer fade. I was fortunate there. He wasn't that bad. The Arizona White Sox first 3 under 2.5 was the loss with you guys. And then Boston, LA first 3 under 2.5 at plus money. That's probably why I went back to this plus money first 3 under in the A's Tigers game. Full game under 9 cash. Washington, San Diego first 3 under 2 cash. Remember that market moved heavily and I was so angry? The first 3 under's done the opposite here, and we'll go into that in a second. There's been a 15-cent move to the over in the first 3 since I looked at it last. That's very...
How are you feeling about it?
I feel fantastic.
Okay, all right.
The fact that I didn't move on it at plus 115, it's plus 135. Now I didn't even care. Or plus 130. Sorry, it was plus 115. Now it's plus 130. Not coming here and apologizing. It's Texas Baltimore first 3 under 2.5, and Texas Baltimore under 8.5, both cashed. Seattle Minnesota first 3 under 2 cash very easily, and the Cubs minus 1 cashed. I still feel like I left a ton of money on the table. Okay, so. Let's get here. Cactus Black is on the under 7 in this one. And we have our friend Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play of the day is in business. And it's on your Houston Astros. Ron Crawford. Let's take a look at this line history and hand it over to Jose. We have the 7. Wow. So this is interesting. There's been... when did this happen? A big move, a huge move to the over. So at 11:19 a.m., an hour and 55 minutes ago, the over 7 was plus 107. Then within 29 minutes, there is a 27-cent move to the over.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've gotten the market yet, Jimmy, but I'll just mention it here real quick. There's 90% of the bets, 95% of the money on the under.
Wow. I mean, what kind of gambler do you have to be to move the line that much? That much. I mean, that's just bananas here.
Yeah.
You know what? Justin wants the Phillies here, and I know he's here for his Stacks plays of the day, but let's get him on screen. I'd love to hear his
Would
thoughts.
you say that he's champing?
I'm champing to have him out here. I want to hear his take. I'm champing to hear his take on this one. So let's, without further ado, bring on the star of the Stacks plays of the day, our friend Mr. Justin McCelvy.
Stacks.
Justin, what's good, man? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Not bad. You can hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
All right, perfect. I know my lighting a little bad, but I'll work through it. No, but I do want to. It's not stacks, but I want to bet the Phillies. I want to bet them bad. Like the only thing keeping off me is Brown. I don't want to fade Brown. I like Sanchez. I think he could keep him close into the game, at least until Brown is gone. Once Brown gone, I like my chances. He ain't gonna, I don't see him going 7 or 8. Y'all think he's going 7 or 8?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, he's 6 starts. He's gone 37 and 2/3. So quick math. That's like what 6. He's averaging 6 1/3 every home start. This line has not moved. It was moving, but it stopped. So this opened up at minus 141, and this early by 2:30 in the morning got up to minus 145. Then there was a real legit move to the Phillies. The Astros go down to minus 130. Now we're sitting here with no movement. We have all these different cappers who cap so differently, and Troy Torrance, with his market efficiency database that we're so excited to have as part of our community, says when you get 2 teams above 500 with a total that opened and closed below 8 with a home favorite, you won't believe the trend to the under. I wonder, I wish TJ was in the chat, because what would it take to move a line 27 cents? Maybe it's just the lineup, but who's missing? Pena, Paredes, Altuve, Myers, Smith, Walker, Diaz, Hummel, and Dubon. And then for the Phillies, Turner, Schwarber, Bohm, Castellanos, Kepler, Kemp, Stott, Marchand, Marsh. So maybe it's just a lineup, maybe 2 weaker lineups on the last day here. We got Fap win in the house. Troy Torrance says Phillies have averaged 2.1 runs per game in light kind markets, and that's with a game where they scored 8 runs. And Ram saying most books, including Penny, have a 7.5 now. And Mr. Belvedere saying the same thing with Mr. McCelvy. Says, I'd like to find a way to bet the Phillies. Wow. Okay, so let's hear.
They've been shut out back-to-back games. Like it's it's hard to get behind. And they got Atlanta coming up next. So like I can't be convinced they won't punt this game and be like, you know what, let's go get rid of Atlanta. Like I know people don't think they do that, but I don't know. Like I want to bet them. I want to bet them bad.
Well, let's see if Jose can push you in that direction here and hear if it's enough for you to pull the trigger. Jose, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, sorry, Troy. This is one of those days where I look Troy in the face and I say, "Fuck you, Troy."
Come on, you can just say I'm on the other side.
I'm on the over here, Troy. Fuck you. How about that, Troy? I'm gonna take some money out of your wallet today, you son of a bitch. I'm on the over 7, officially minus 112 or minus 115. Excuse me. Again, do I like going up against Troy? No. I went up against Spoons last night, took money out of my wallet again. I'm glad I could help him once again. But I'll be on the over here 7. Now, I did look at Hunter Brown's home starts, and I will just say that his least amount of innings he's pitched in a home start so far has been 5 2/3. So everything has been 6 innings, 7 innings. So that's a little worrisome, sure, but this is a good Phillies lineup. Christopher Sanchez hopefully gets touched up by this Astros team. I was considering an Astros team total here as well, honestly, but I'll just stick with the over here. And I think the Astros might be a leg for a parlay here. I've gone 2 for 2 on 2-leg parlays this week so far. So we'll see. It is indeed what line or what book you looked at for openers. Penny open minus 145, where we used to play poker minus 125. Bookmaker minus 125, a bunch of places minus 145. So I've kind of gone back and forth on how I feel about that movement. So it is Houston's my look right now for that parlay leg, but I don't feel as good about it today as I've had the other day. So I'll probably just end up staying off, but I'll be on the over 7 minus 115.
Over 7 at minus 115 here.
You ruined it for me, Jose. I was gonna get on the over until you said fuck Troy. No, I'll just bet.
I'm ready to go to battle. By the way, I can't believe Troy's 33. I thought that guy was like 45 with those old knees of his. Unbelievable. That guy. Happy birthday to Troy Torrance.
Okay, let's stay focused here. Truth Teller says he likes the Phillies. So, Justin, what was the final reason for you to pull the trigger on the Phillies. And we can make this official for the record keeping.
I'm going to do that. Give me the money line. I like them in this spot. I really don't have too much logic. I do like to bet against the spread or against the sweep. That's not the reason why I'm betting here, but I just like the Phillies in this spot. Like, you're leaving, getaway day, like, but just don't get away without no win, though. I like them here. And Jose can't give me a reason besides put them in the money line parlay. He can't
I like the line movement, but it just depends on what book you're looking at for that line movement.
I just need Sanchez to keep it within one, like, just until dude leave. Like, because we ain't going to act like Hunter Brown, Nolan Ryan. Like, he could lose. I watched him do it against the Rays.
Well, he used to have real issues in the first inning, which is kind of fixed. But
he's really fixed that shit.
Yeah. Mr. Belvedere says, does the over correlate with the Phillies winning? I don't know. That's
I mean, unless you're saying Brown gonna get sparked.
Yeah, unless you think about Brown's gonna get. I think that the Phillies is indicative of Sanchez pitching very well.
I think Phillies like the under.
But Troy says yes, it does. So, I mean, I think that if it's a very low scoring first five, I want to attack the live over, and I'll be looking at that here. We have Houston in a dome. Troy Torrance says Astros at home with a total under 8 this year, 14-2 to the under, and both losses went over.
But yeah, you can make it official.
All right, you are in business. The best line available for you is offshore, and it's plus 133.
I will stand in the face of that 14-2, and I say, let's fucking go, Troy. 14-3 after tonight.
Well, I am just because of the market move. If I had moved on the plus 115, I came here at plus 130. I would start sweating. That's what I do. I start immediately flop sweating, and I just
flop sweating.
Yeah, flop sweats, man. You haven't been in enough pressure situations. You're too young to know the flop sweats, man.
But I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh, wow.
The flop sweats for me is when someone comes up, flops my titty, and then I get nervous because everyone starts making fun of my flabby tits.
Here we go.
Yeah, you've lived a very sheltered life if you've not felt the flop sweats.
His worst problem was dealing with raccoons at his last place.
Okay, let's roll.
That shit made him lose state.
Let's roll. Let's roll because we arrive at Stacks Play today, number 1 here for our guy Justin. Res Mob in the house, and crazy play to start the Guardians game, says a sly one. I can't get that unless I put on the actual cable.
It's under review right now. Apparently there was a double, and I didn't see the play, so they're reviewing whatever the fuck just happened. It looks like one of your outfielders dove to try to catch the ball, but it looks like it hit the ground first, and I think they're going to end up giving him the double.
Well, it sounds that. So let's talk about this Rays Royals game. And it's funny hearing people talk about Boz and Lorenzen because Jose, I love them both, and nobody else.
Yeah, this total hurt your feelings, huh?
Oh God, did it hurt me? I was like, ooh, I was so ready. I was like, what? I couldn't believe how high it was. But I trust, of course, the markets. Now, we've heard from TJ. He's on Tampa Bay money line and the Tampa Bay KC under 10.5. Under 10.5. Interesting. I read that wrong. We have, and Spooner is on Tampa Bay Rays as well, minus 120. He's having some audio issues. We're not sure if he's going to be able to jump on with us today, but he's working on it right now. And Troy Torrance says, I don't know why I've been on unders in the series. Rays are just a locomotive right now. Look, that under yesterday and also the phenomenal start by Rasmussen. I go 9-1 and all I can think about is the money I leave on the table, and then I blow $1,000 in WNBA, and it's fucking infuriating here. So we have Shane Boz going up against Michael Lorenzen. Let's get into the weather here to get us started. 89 Fahrenheit, feels like 91, 12.5 miles per hour out to center, and gets up to 13.4 miles per hour. So let's see what a Ballpark Pal has Kaufman, plus 19% overall. So it's plus 4% home runs. You know, it's a tough ballpark to hit home runs. Plus 18% doubles and triples. Plus 15% singles here. Kristen Hess is on this over as well. Truth Teller is on the Rays money line. Truth Teller said, I bet Rays game 1 and game 2, going again for the sweep. Redbeard's on the Rays first 5 minus a half at plus 100. T-Moss in the house. Great to see you, T-Moss. So let's get into the line history. We know that the Royals right now are at plus 108. They opened up at now plus 107. That move was right now, this minute. So they've just a tightening of VIG. Let's just call it no movement at all. Let's get to the total here. This total is a 10 minus 107 to the under. This opened up at 10 and within an hour, 20 minutes moved up to 10.5. It's been up 10.5 a couple times. So the under 10.5 that TJ moved on was widely available, you know, around minus 114, minus 115. You could have got it minus 111 at around 11:30 this morning. I didn't realize it moved up then as well. But we have no movement on the total now. But it's a very high number. A wine time on the over 10 and Sly saying, yes, that was a Quan leadoff. Troy Torrance also on the Rays first 5. So let's get to the cash flow here. We have 52% of the tickets on the Rays, 63% of the cash on the Royals. We have 65% of the tickets on the under and 75% of cash on the under. You know, it's so funny. I see these two pitchers I love, and I feel like I'd be the only one who'd want an under. Here, the board's telling us that 65% of the tickets, 75% cash on it with no movement. Lucky Power is on Brendan Lau, home run at plus 425. Boz, 7-3, 4.79 ERA, 1.33 whip. 14 home runs allowed this season, but we've talked about the advantages that these pitchers have when they get out on the road and aren't in a AAA bandbox. Boz's last start was at home. It was a 14-8 win. I mean, I cashed on him, but he allowed 5 earned runs or 5 1/3. On the road this year, he's been much better, though. He's allowed 14 earned runs in 6 starts. He's allowed 30 hits and 35 1/3. Opponents hitting 234 against him. His splits are fine. Lefties 237, 710, righties 257, 79. And then we have Michael Lorenzen, 4.81 ERA, 1.37 whip. His last start was really nice, but it was at the Padres in a much easier pitching situation. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 3 walks. At home, he's been very good. He's allowed 11 earned runs over 5 starts with a 243 opponent's batting average. Lefties are hitting 252, 748, righties 272, 808. Those splits aren't good, but there's not extreme issues anywhere. The Rays are hitting hard, 280, 803 OPS versus righties last 30 days, while the Royals aren't, 241, 672. And the Rays bullpen has been very good now for an extended period of time. So let's start with the stacks play of the day, number 1. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, I'm because of Sharpie. Last year, I started making a book with these props in it, and it's not something I usually bet. And I'm 1 for 3 so far with him. But I'm on Bobby Witt to get an RBI plus 128. 120, RBI plus 128. Well, it might be 130. I can't read my writing.
Okay, well, it's the similar plus 128, plus 130. What led you to the RBI over the hits, runs, and RBIs? Is it because with the high total that you would have to have taken a 2.5?
Well, one, I don't bet hits, run, and RBI. I don't have a book that has that. So everything's either over 1.5 bases. And the thing about it is he ain't been getting 1.5 bases. He's been getting like 1. But I expect, like, with the wind going out, all of Boss's home runs, he got like 9 against righties. Bobby Witt in a little bit of slump, but it's prime time for him. I like the weather. I like the spot. And I'm not betting them, but I don't like the Royals to win this game.
Robert
I actually love Bobby Witt, though.
Witt, RBI, you're getting a nice risk-reward opportunity at plus 128. Robert Cherry, Cactus Black says, I think Lorenzen gets touched up. And Robert Cherry says, I don't understand the over-under in this spot. Royals bats being cold all month. I'd prefer the under until the Royals score. I had thought I was going to be on the under before I saw the 10 that it opened at. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Rays, Royals.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, and maybe I'm a dumb asshole, but whenever we see these big lines at parks that typically don't get big lines, I feel like they should just be auto overs. Honestly, like they're set that high for a reason. It's not going to be that way every day. You'll see Kauffman Stadium being 8.5, 7.5, maybe 9s if there's shitty pitchers out there. and now we're getting a 10 here today. I just think this is an over. I just blindly, I didn't even look at the market really until you said that there's like 60% of the people betting the unders in this game. Like, great. Makes my over bet even less public here. Everyone sees this big total. They're like, oh my God, this is two decent pitchers. I want to take the over or the under here. This is an inflated line, whatever. I bet you a lot of cappers don't really check the weather as well, unless it's Wrigley Field. So I'll take the over here, 10. No problem. And this is probably the first time in this year that I've had two overs on my card here. So over 10 minus 120 for me.
That's funny you say that because as soon as I seen this, instantly I almost went to Twitter and made this stacks. Like, you got in Kansas City at 10? Like,
yeah,
I was like,
I'll look it up. I might be able to find it, but I think that this has to be the highest total in Kauffman this season.
I mean, unless you saying like it's gonna be like 8-2 Tampa, like,
and if it is, I'll be pissed.
Like, with the road, not gonna score a number. I think it's Boz the one gonna get his ass kicked today.
Well, Lorenzen's been good at home. I'm just have to leave this game far away from me. Matty Ice says 1-0 Tigers torque bomb. Matty Ice in the house. Great to see you, Matty. We have a Witt RBI is Stacks play of the day number 1. Why don't you stick with us here, Justin, because we only have one game in between your Stacks play of the day number 2.
Cool.
So let's talk Cubs Cardinals here. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. In fact, Justin, we have a Spooner with the audio issues. So if you're cool, I know that you've capped the card. So
yeah, I ain't got nothing to do.
Okay, cool. Stick with us for the MLB. That'll be great. Beautiful. Okay, let's roll into game 2 here. Jose Bouquet, Justin Mcelvy, thank you for rocking with us here on Pub Sports Radio. Chicago Cubs 47-33, 22-18 on the road. St. Louis Cardinals 44-37, 26-16 at home. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. I almost put on my St. Louis jersey, and I fear Deacon Mike for some reason. I don't know. I just didn't want the wrath of Deacon.
That's fair.
I didn't want the wrath, man. But goddamn, when the Cubs and Cardinals get together, baseball fans win. And these games are a lot of fun. Now, yesterday maybe wasn't the best example, unless you were all over the Cubs. Thanks to the great cappers in the chat that got us on the Cubs. Here, Cactus Black says Cardinals. Cardinals here. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, my first thought was, and I again, it's the vividness bias. And I talk about it so often because your subconscious is an asshole. It's going to mess with you. It's going to affect you negatively. What you think, what you just saw is going to happen again. It's a problem. And I like Shota Imanaga. I think he is a very good pitcher. We haven't seen him for a long time. He looks spectacular in his rehab starts, but again, just like Frankie Montas, try not to put too much emphasis or care about what they've done in their rehab starts. Montas looks horrible and then comes in and delivers right away. So Wine Time says, I went the Cards' way, but says he doesn't know if he can get there. And Troy Torrance is on the Cubs' first 5. So Shota Imanaga threw 72 pitches and went 4 1/3 in that last rehab outing at AAA Iowa on Friday. Overall, he had the rehab outing stretched from the rookie level Arizona Complex League in AAA Iowa, but 10 1/3 and doesn't allow a run. He has had 4 road starts this year. He's allowed 3 earned runs. I mean, this guy is a very, very good pitcher. Lefties have little to no chance against him. 156, 529 OPS. Righties hitting 231, 706 OPS. And there are some righties in this lineup that you need to worry about. There's really only the 3 lefties, Donovan, Burleson, and the DH Nolan Gorman. That's a confirmed lineup. So he's going to see 6 righties here. We have the Palante on the other side. Palante looked like, I don't know, he's probably too young to deal with arm fatigue, but I was legitimately thinking that Palante was going to hit a wall. And then he delivers in that last start. 6 innings, no earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk, and a 6-1 win at home versus the Reds. On the road this year, he has struggled at times. It's not horrible, 18 earned runs and 7 starts, but 35 hits allowed and 37 and a third, 245 opponents batting average here. Cubbies versus righties, 257.58 OPS. Cards versus righties, 244.708 OPS. And Gorky, thank you for the dono, my friend, says Cubs, Dodgers, that's baseball. Day before, no matter, says our guy Gorky. So let's get into the weather here in St. Louis. 92 Fahrenheit, feels like 98, 6.3 miles per hour out to center, left center. Gets up to 7.2 miles per hour. Then let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. Ballpark Pal giving us Busch Stadium minus 5%, which is a bit of a surprise, minus 2% homers, minus 6% doubles and triples, and plus 1% singles. And then we have the cash flow wise for Eminaga Palante. 72% of the tickets on the Cubs and 55% of the cash. 72 and 55. That surprised me. It surprised me that the bigger bets were coming in on Palante, and that stopped me in my tracks. 65% of the tickets and 64% of cash on the under. So this total is a 9.5. It's juiced to the under, but it just moved up to 9.5 35 minutes ago. That's pretty heavily juiced to the under. But even when it moved to 9.5 with a plus money to the over, it did move a cent more towards the over. Then on the money line here, we have the Cubbies minus 131. They opened up now minus 129. They opened up minus 133, a 4-cent move away from them. Why? Isaiah Scurry, that sounds very nice to me. Very nice, my man. Thank you for thinking of me. Troy Torrance says Lucky Power says Cubs minus 1 here. And leaning over at 9. We also have our guy Spooner back in business. So it'll be a 4-headed monster as we move forward. So without further ado, let's bring on Spoons in the house off a great 4-1 day yesterday. Spooner, great work, my man. How are you? Oh, we don't have audio from you. Let's see if we...
Yeah, you might be muted on your mic. Nope, nothing. Can't hear you.
We're praying. Okay,
Fuck.
He's working on it. We got Spooner working on it. Okay, no worries, Spooner. Keep working. We'll get you right. We'll get you right, my friend. So here we go. Take it away for us. We'll let Jose go first on this one, and then Justin will start out the Dodgers-Rockies game. Take it away for us, Jose.
Yeah, I trust Shota as well. Like you mentioned, I'm not going to be too worried about his rehab starts. And Troy saying to check that first 5 line, minus 145 for them, 10 cents more expensive for me. Interesting. By the way, it's weirdly enough, the Cardinals money line first 5 in full game is the same for me as well. That is also weird. I don't feel like I ever see that. Yeah, I think it's a Cub spot again here. I think that, and Spoons mentioned this the other day, the PCA kind of like lollygagging thing that he did the other day, they obviously got him going that next game. And I think he will be on his shit for the next few games, being extra aware. And I think that the Cubs could be very live to, run off a few games in a row here. But minus 135 full game is a little surprisingly cheap to me, honestly. Maybe it is just the return of Shota here being a little bit of a question mark. A couple cents going in the Cubs or in the Cardinals' direction with 72% of the bets and 55% of the money on them. A little worrisome here, but it'd probably just be first 5 Cubs or nothing here like Troy preaches. So nothing here for me yet.
And Troy says check that first 5 line. That's not a big enough difference for me personally. That we believe there's a big pitching advantage for the Cubs, and 365 has minus 140, full game minus 150, first 5. I'm not getting a sign from the market that they're concerned at all, but I guess why would they if 45% of the cash is on the Cardinals? So, why would they? Let's hear from you, Justin. Were there any moves that you were close to making, and did you get to the window on anything?
Yeah, I still am. I'm close to Contreras, RBI. I think I seen that plus 140 earlier. I moved on it. I just like right-handers against Shaw. I don't think he's ready to come back. I think wasn't it a hamstring? It's been 2 months, right? Month and a half for a hamstring.
Yeah, a while.
just seemed like a long time. And I mean, I ain't seen nothing about no pitch count, but I don't know if he's ready. But either way, when he was healthy, he had a problem with right-handers. I'm probably going better. I haven't betted yet, but with all this, everyone screaming Cubs, I ain't seen nobody say Cardinals.
No. No, and I find this very uncomfortable here. Let's see if we got audio from our guy Morgan Spooner. Let's give Spooner another shot. Morgan, my man, let's hear you.
Does that work?
There we go. Spooner in business.
That was the most frustrating. I need an IT guy.
Well, you're here now. That's what matters. Let's just do a quick review of Spooner's action on this card here. Sorry, I just blew past it here. Astros money line, Tigers -1, Rays money line, and then we have Mariners money line and the Mets money line coming up. So, what are your thoughts on this Cards Cubbies game that pops off shortly in less than 30 minutes?
So the big X factor here for me is Shota. He's only worked up to 72 pitches in the minor leagues right now. And the next progression from there is 85. This is a guy that I generally trust, but with Bush playing pretty hot, the ball seemed to be flying yesterday off the bats. This is generally a pitcher's park, and I'd like to back him here, but wind blowing out, really high temperatures. Shota, when he came over to the league, just absolutely fly ball pitcher to the max. So I could see the Cardinals bats getting to him here. And on the opposite end of that, if he's right, I really think I don't think they'll have a problem with it. And I think Palante is a ground ball pitcher. He's at home. This is a spot where he can probably pitch pretty well to the Cubs. The big X factor being Shota, I kind of went back and forth, and I just stayed off the game. I hit Cardinals 2 nights ago, Cubs yesterday, and not trying to play God there.
Yes, keep it clean. I get it. And you're finding success in the series, and just count the cash. You know, Troy, I don't know. It's interesting. So Troy says full game line move slightly to the Carter State stagnant. First 5 line move between 6 and 25 cents. And that's true. I'm looking at a couple offshores here. Heritage 145 to 150. 5 cents there. And these are the books that I really want to know about. The Costa Rica book that I think is quite sharp. They this is wild here. Like it's hard to quantify completely because they tighten the VIG up so much when they don't know this Costa Rica book, which is a sharp book. They'll have 33 cents of juice on the opening line, and then they'll close it at 20 cents of juice once they have a sense of it. So you're right here at this book. It opened up at 7:59 a.m. with the Cubs -136, and the Cardinals were +103. So now the Cardinals are +125. So different books doing different things. And you're right, the first 5 is moving towards Shota. Again, I don't know if it's quite enough here. I don't know if it's quite enough.
To be clear with that, if you're betting the first 5 Cubs, I don't even know that you get 5 innings out of Shota. So I said if it goes well, he goes 85. He could go out there and suffer a setback or something might not go right, and he doesn't even go 4 innings. And that opens it up to the bullpen coming in and having to work a really long game. I think there's a lot of volatility involved with this Cubs side of this game.
Yeah, I'm comfortable not making a move here. Coin leaning towards St. Louis. Truth teller on the over. And for Justin, is anything you're making official before we move on to our next spot on the board?
No, not right now.
And Jose has left that one alone here. And Troy Torrance says his pops. Says we're going the full 5 there. All right, let's roll on to our next spot on the board here. So I've made 2 bets before coming here. The first 2.5 is in danger. The Athletics have 2 runners on and nobody out here. So I need ends to deliver. It's dangerous. Then I have the Guardians -1. My third bet is here, and I don't believe I kind of like Austin Gomber's first 2 starts, honestly. I'm a Gomber backer at home, But I like that he went out on the road and looked excellent. And then he came home and got absolutely annihilated. Like, I don't mind that for the headspace of my pitcher. You know, I don't. Now he's going to face the Dodgers. He's going to be very concerned. And we know what's happened to Kershaw in Colorado. You know, it's his kryptonite. It's his Achilles. It's his, field of horrors. And I think that first 3 plus a half at plus 115 is a bet that I would make quite often and believe in the ROI. And I would like to see quickly here what it is now, because this line was not moving towards the Dodgers, and I always fear getting in early because the Dodgers money is going to come in. So let's just see if it has changed. It doesn't look like it is. No, it has changed. 5 cents now plus 110. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, SBK says Kershaw been getting his feet wet these days. He actually may have something left in the tank. Yes, he's been looking pretty good.
I also would like to push back real quick. I just checked out Kershaw's last few starts in Coors. Yeah. Oh, actually, sorry. I'm looking at his total starts. My bad. His last starts in Coors. Now I'm backing you up, actually. I was looking at the wrong things there. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. That was in 23, but he hasn't gone back to Coors since that was 23. The last start otherwise was in 22, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, and 7 innings. That was in 2020 though at that point. So
if you look at Kershaw's pitch mix over the years, he started out as a heavy fastball pitcher in his early career, and around 2019, 2020 is when he switched to being a heavy slider guy, and the slider is his most used pitch. It has been for 5 straight seasons now, so that kind of correlates with it not working that well in Coors. The slider just doesn't have the same effect in that thin air. So many pitchers are on record about this.
Yeah, it's beautifully put, Spooner, beautifully put. And so I like this spot a lot. And let's go through the line history and the cash flow and send it around. We're going to get Stacks to hit leadoff here in this one. It's 80 Fahrenheit. Feels like 76, 5.4 miles per hour right to left and slightly in. Gets up to 6.3 miles per hour. Let's get to the ballpark pal here. They got Coors plus 29%, plus 28% home runs, plus 25% doubles and triples, plus 13% singles. We have I'm looking at first 5. Sorry, let me just pull it into a full game here. We have a Gomber and the Rockies plus 247. They opened up at plus 238. So, this got down to plus 231 at 9:54. This is still moved 3 cents towards the Dodgers. I hoped, well, you know what? Against the Dodgers and the Dodgers Rockies, I'll take that as a victory, honestly. From a total standpoint, we have a 12.5. It's minus 108 to the under. We know that Truth Teller takes the over 12s with great success in Colorado. Bobano is also on this over 12. It moved to 12.5 at 10:03 a.m. after opening at a 12 here. So Kershaw has looked great on the road so far. He's coming off a 6-5 win at the Nationals. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. There were solo shots. He's been great so far this year. On the road, he's made 3 starts. Now it's only 12 innings. I think the one was a rain delay that he got pulled early from. 2 earned runs overall. Hasn't allowed a home run. 11 Ks, 3 walks, 267 opponents batting average. Righties hitting 267, 798 against them. This Rockies offense has looked quite a bit better of late. In the last 30 days against lefties, 254, 705 OPS. And that's not too far off of what the Dodgers are doing against lefties, 265, 763 OPS. And look, Gomber had that really good start April 15th at the Braves, and then he got destroyed at home against the Diamondbacks. Lefties, he's only seen 7 this year, and I don't imagine he's going to see many here, but he's going to see Ohtani and Freeman. So the rest will be righties. And righties are 13 for 34 against them in 2 games. 2 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. He's only struck out 2 of 34 batters, and he's walked 2 of 34 batters. So look, it's a wing and a prayer kind of spot here. Redbird says Rockies spot. Dodgers bullpen's been bad. 4.92 ERA, 1.42 whip over the last 30 days, while the Rockies bullpen's been bad too. 5.22 ERA, 1.39 whip. So here we go. I mean, National says stats from 3, 4, 5 years ago seem pointless info. I would be the first to say that, but it's not if he's become an off-speed specialist as an older pitcher, and it doesn't work in the thin air. So you can pinpoint when he started doing it and why he started struggling with it. Look, I'm the first to pick out things, and especially in other sports where I don't think it matters. I think this does matter here. I think it matters what happened in the change, and it was eloquently put by Spooner. Take it away for us, Justin. Stacks play today, number 2.
Yeah, I'm on Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases plus 110. I got it at.
And
you speaking of numbers, as far it's a small sample size, but he's one of those righties. He's 3 for 7. He had extra base hit and a bomb off him.
Yeah, I mean, you're picking the righty. I mean, a true teller, I would be weary of the lefty-on-lefty matchup with Freeman against Gomber personally, but Freeman's a hell of a hitter. Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases at plus 110. Was there anything else that you came close to in this spot, Justin?
Yeah, and I missed it. I seen 11.5, and I missed it. And then when I got to 12, I understand what you always say about you got mad, and I missed it because doing a favor. So I was like, I'm just stick with Mookie, and I'm cool. I was irritated, but I'm still. I hope it get like a low scoring first couple innings and it drop.
It's possible. It's certainly possible here. Stacks play day number 2. Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases at plus 110. Spooner, Dodgers, Rockies.
I like the over here, the full game over. I think the market's kind of reflecting that. It's a little U-shaped movement. I think if we look at the beginning, I saw some 12s out there and then down to 11.5 and back to 12. And I value that U-shape movement. It makes me feel like some little bit of tricks to try to get money on this side that the books don't necessarily want. I think they always close the line closer to where they believe the game will be. So I like the over. I haven't gotten there with my own money. You're relying on a lot of runs from the Dodgers here, in my opinion. I do think the Rockies can probably get 4, but this total's 12. So that's 9 runs that we're going to need to get the actual over. So it's too much for me. Core's a huge outfield. So many balls get down. And Clayton Kershaw, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. Even though this is kryptonite, he knows it's his kryptonite. So he's got to think about that. And walking into this, he's going to be, I'll just throw my fastball a little bit more. I'll bring back that change I haven't been using quite as much. This guy used to have a bag of 6 or 7 pitches, and he's got it whittled down at this point. But I don't put it past him to be able to pull out a really good start right here.
How many strikeouts is he away now from that 3K?
Ooh, that he's got to be right on the edge. I haven't looked.
I'll say it was 12, like before the last start. He got to be inching there. Like we had, like I don't know how many strikeouts he had, but it was 12 going in the last time he started. He would have had to have got 1.
I'll pull it up right now. That's an interesting take here. You might try to go after it. While I'm grabbing it, let's hear from Jose Bouquet. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I'll just join the over parade here. 12.5 minus 115 for me. Again, I feel like I fucking never have this many overs in a card here. But I'm on it. The market, like Spoon said, kind of reflects this is the spot. Kershaw's shitty numbers historically here. Austin Gomber against the Dodgers and the Rockies bullpen against the Dodgers. I'll roll my dice there. So over 12.5 minus 115. And bases loaded, by the way.
Hey, Jim, let me step out real quick and put this Phillies game in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. 2,992 strikeouts. He's 8 away from that magic 3,000. Jose moving on the over 12.5. What was the juice, Jose?
Minus 115. He doesn't get the 8 tonight. I'll tell you guys that. I would assume, I don't know the Dodgers schedule, but his next start, I bet's a home start, and then I'll be all serendipitous.
Well, there we...
One note on that, this is the hardest park to get strikeouts in all of Major League Baseball. Part of that's due to that thin air and the off-speed pitches not working the way the pitchers want them to. Part of it is due to the amount of balls that get put in play and become outs or in play actual hits. Just the giant outfield, it's more foul territory as well. There's just so many more places for the ball to hit the ground here than in your average park, and it's 30th in Ballpark's Pals' ability to get strikeouts for any pitcher.
Oh, it's important notes as we move forward here. So there. Look, I've got my move. Kong's Clip says his best bet: Dodgers total homers over 1.5 -174. He's putting 2 units on it. Stacks play today number 2. Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases. Jose on the over 12.5 -115. Bobano already gave us the over 12 earlier in the show, and I'm on the Rockies first 3 +0.5 at +115. Now I have set up my numbers for first 3 unders. I'm going to start get my record set up for what I'm doing on these first 3s and first 3 plus, so we can have it. I can get that information. I'll have that ready for us tomorrow. Let's roll on. Jansen Junk got me paid in his last start. Also, the Marlins Giants game yesterday. Oh shit, 3-0 Tigers, and there goes that first 3 under. Fuck, man. All right.
God,
4-game winning streak on the first 3 unders gone there with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, the Guardians have been battling right now. The base is loaded for them. 1 out. There was no outs. He got, I guess, fucking Bo Bichette to strike out, and he just got a foul ball from Luke. So we'll see what happens. But it's sweaty over here.
Lucas.
We both have full game.
Huh. That's frustrating.
Is that pronounced Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he too going to be a fucking all-star? Because the Blue Jays have all-stars coming out of their goddamn ass, apparently.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that they've been so good. It was an error, too, that...
base hit for Lucas. 2 runs will score. Yeah, so is Vladdy going to be an all-star? My question.
Yeah. He'll get the votes. The fan votes are going to put him in. That's how we do this.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
Oh, that hurts. Okay. But that happens. And that happens as part of baseball. And I'm not going to. Everything's fine. Bankroll's fine. Stay calm.
Jimmy, any reaction? It just takes 90 seconds to get through it. It happens. Everybody experiences emotions. Just experience it and carry on,
Yeah, I don't even need to experience it. Everything's fine.
Hayden Birdsong as well. This guy is battling for a job. These are 2 pitchers that I think the public does not have a high expectation for, but I think these guys can both pitch pretty well, and I think the total really reflects that here in Oracle today. Notably, one of the most pitcher-friendly parks year after year is Oracle. No matter what way the wind blows, it has this like weird wind effect where it swirls back in, and pitchers just love pitching here. I think Hayden Birdsong's trying to keep this role as a starter rather than going back to the bullpen where the Giants put him to start the year. And Jansen Junk, I think this guy's got a pretty good pitch mix. He's shown us the ability to pitch well to this point in the season. I had this circled as an under in the Giants spot. I kind of wanted to get to the Giants -1 last night. You could get it almost -120. And my issue with that was I think this is a 1-run game. I think this is a very low volatility. I got really close with the under. I didn't end up moving on this. But what do you think of a first 3 under in this Giants-Marlins?
I think that Birdsong is going to start getting touched.
So he struggles with lefties, and there are some notable lefties in this Marlins lineup. I lost some of my tabs. Let's see if I can pull that back up.
Yeah, I've got you there with the 290, 890 OPS is what he's allowing versus lefties. We have Edwards, who's going to lead off. The switchy is going to hit from the left side. Sanchez, Stowers, Liam Hicks. So you'd wish the lineup had more lefties. And I'm not saying that the Marlins are going to put 4 or 5 on him here. I'm a Birdsong fan. He's got a huge amount of pitches that he can utilize. I think there's a lot of pressure on him. I like Jansen Junk, and Jansen Junk just got me paid. I see what you're talking about with the under. Let's just do a quick look at the weather here. 57 Fahrenheit, feels like 55, 6.3 miles per hour to left. It gets up to 7.2 and 8. With that swirling winds, we see 12, 13, 15 mile per hour winds blowing out. and Ballpark Pal expecting low scoring in the stadium. And today, Oracle Park's not the worst for offense. That goes to Citi Field, but this is minus 9%, minus 25% home runs, minus 5% doubles and triples, but plus 6% singles. Jackson Junk has never started a game on the road. That's not why I didn't come in here with action. I wanted to talk this one out. I don't know exactly what to do with that information. He's pitched in 3 games on the road. He's never started. He has allowed 17 hits in 14 2/3. He's allowed 6 earned runs. I mean, yeah, he hasn't allowed a home run. He's not getting strikeouts when he needs to. Points hitting 293 against him. I think he's going to be a pitcher in Major League Baseball. I just wanted to talk it all out. Hayden Birdsong coming off allowing 4 earned runs in 4 1/3, 5 runs total, 4 earned in that loss at home versus Red Sox. But now he's got the consecutive home starts. Now at home, he's been quite good until that last start. 9 earned runs over 29 2/3, 26 hits, points hitting 239 against him. Spooner brought up the splits. Marlins last 30 days aren't hitting righties hard. 263, 689. Giants 234, 696. And the Giants bullpen's coming back to earth a little bit, still being very good. And the Marlins bullpen is getting better and better by the day. Spooner, is there anything you want to add before we go to Justin and Jose? Oh, you're muted, my man. Okay, we might have lost the audio here.
I think Jansen Junk has the ability to really pitch well to this Giants lineup. Just going through it, he has pitches to get both sides of the plate out. I think this guy's going to pitch well in Oracle today. Miami is not a pitcher-friendly environment for a lot of people. I think this is going to be a spot where we can kind of see him shine. I'm leaning closer to this first 3 under. I hear you're not in love with it, but I think Hayden Birdsong, it's the first 2 batters in the Miami lineup that really scare me. Xavier Edwards and Jesus Sanchez, they're going to set the tone for the whole game. And if you're going to be on that first 3 under, you have to say that he can get those 2 outs. And that might be what keeps me out of it. But I think the rest of the lineup, Birdsong can pitch really well too. Maybe I just want to get to the Marlins in some way, shape, or form here, but I do have 5 plays on the board, so I'm not trying to put that much more money out.
I wanted Jansen Junk. This line moved pretty fast. I mean, immediate. I guess, it took 2 hours and 9 minutes for a 10-cent move? That's a legit move. This is 17 cents overall to the Giants. There's been a 4-cent move to the under. A 4-cent move to the under. 76% of tickets, 73% of cash on the Giants. If you like the Giants here, the market is indicating you're in business. 60% of tickets, 67% of cash on the under. My read on Birdsong being touched has to be a bias from what I saw from the last start. Again, watching these games doesn't always help. So I'm uncomfortable because the market's saying Birdsong is going to pitch well, and I'm uncomfortable here. Let's hear from Justin. Justin, Marlins, Giants.
I don't have nothing in this game. I wanted to bet the Giants. Then I felt like I was wasting too much time for this game, so I left it alone. And even after listening to everybody, I still haven't. I wouldn't be on the Marlins. Not even for no other reason. Like, I don't really know about Junk. I still just have this Marlins thing in my head. Like, I don't know. Like, I think they suck.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, they do a lot of losing. One thing just before Jose takes over, and I know that there's a lot of cappers out there that don't care about the market, and do whatever works for you. I'm not here to. We're just capping together, and we all have different routes to the bag. But the full game under was a guaranteed bet of mine last year on yesterday's game with Cabrera. Cabrera, who I like a lot, and of course Logan Webb. But the market didn't get me there. I couldn't get there because of the market. And it saved me. And it's been happening all year long. The play that that would have been my first bet. I would have come to the show with that bet. But instead, I'm letting the market marinate. I'm listening to you guys. We're capping it together. And I saved $250. I was with a friend last night. He's like, you haven't gone back to 300 a unit and you're on this run, and it always works like that. And I'm afraid to do it now. I feel like as soon as I move back to 300, I'm going to start losing. Fuck. Jose,
Jimmy,
yeah.
Real quick, I think I found the angle for this game. I forgot to mention this. Miami's two co-closers are both going to be unavailable for this game. They pitched in back-to-back games, each throwing over 40 pitches. These are the two most trusted arms in this bullpen. They have more holds and saves combined than the rest of the bullpen combined, and that's 6 arms versus just 2. So if you're taking those 2 arms out of this game, Jansen Junk's going to have to walk an absolute tightrope to absolutely get through this. If we think Hayden Birdsong can get touched and the Marlins don't have the bullpen pieces, this is one of those spots we circle and we get a live bet in if Hayden Birdsong gives up a run or two, and I think that's what I'm going to do.
It's a good way of doing it. Just attack it live. Be curious to see. So this is an 8 here at 365, but I'd be curious to see what the difference is first 5 full game. They have the Giants at minus 185 full game, and first 5, the Giants are at minus 155. You nailed it. I mean, that's the issue. That's why the line's moving towards the Giants, because of the issues with the Marlins pen. That's a huge difference in the first 5. That's 25 cents difference on the Marlins from plus 155 to plus 130.
And if we walk it back to 4 days, both of those pitchers have pitched in 3 of 4 games. I really don't think we'll see either of them tonight.
By the way, 3 errors, 2 walks, and a wild pitch by the Guardians in 1 inning. Sweaty Butcher says we got game 1 of our All-Star tournament today. These boys have been putting in work. Time for it to pay off. Good luck, Sweaty Butcher. We got a chance to hang out with the boys. And what a great fam you have, Sweaty Butcher. We're cheering for you, man. Continue to lead by example and go get it, man. Go get it. Wow. All right. Coin saying San Francisco minus 1. Thoughts after that breakdown. Jerry Davis got the Marlins first 5. Let's hear from Jose. An interesting game. Marlins, Giants.
Yeah, I can be brief. I thought the same with the Giants as I did with the Astros. They were the other half. They were the other half of the 2-leg parlay that I was considering today, but I just couldn't really find another leg. It'd be the Giants and something else. But yeah, I like the Giants as a parlay piece. I think they go out there and win, but nothing else for me really.
I think it's the live bet or taking the Marlins first 5 like Jerry's doing. I'm going to study this a little more, but I think I probably just stay off at this. My plan will be to stay off at this point and look to get on live with the Giants. But if that's the case, then maybe I should be on the Marlins first 5. I'll need to think about it longer. Let's get into our final game in MLB before Jose and I take on WNBA after the beating I took here, dropping $50 off the unit size. 7:10 p.m. Eastern with the Atlanta Braves, 37-42, 15-27 on the road. It's hard to believe, Justin, that this team could be 12 games under 500. 42 games on the road, 42 games into their season on the road. It doesn't make sense. They're a better team than that. And the Mets 28-12 at home, just dominating at Citi Field in Queens, New York. Let's get into the weather here in Queens. 77 Fahrenheit, feels like 74, 13.4 miles per hour in right to left, and then dies down to 11.6. But we already talked about this being the least offensive ballpark here. We have for City minus 13% overall, minus 2% home runs, but minus 19% doubles and triples, and minus 13% singles. Get into the line history here. Griffin Canning, who's not looked very good of late, is a minus 108. Minus 108. Opened up minus 107. A 1 cent move towards the New York Mets. From a total standpoint here, we have an 8.5 minus 115 to the over. Opened up minus 117 to the over. Basically just a tightening of VIG slightly and no move here. Take a look at the cash flow for our last game on the board, Atlanta, New York Mets. We have 50% of the tickets on the Mets, but 64% of the cash on Grant Holmes and the Braves. 80% of tickets on the under, but 52% of cash on the over. Very interesting here. Grant Holmes, 4-6, 3.71 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. He's coming off a nice road start. Finally, he's been terrible on the road, much stronger at home. But he did walk 5 batters still in a 7-0 win at the Marlins. Roof closed, pitcher-friendly situation, and still walks 5 batters. He's pitched in 7 games. He started 6 on the road, allowed 18 earned runs. The interesting thing is that he hasn't allowed many hits. It's just 1 out of every 3 hits he allows on the road goes yard. 8 home runs allowed on the road and just 24 hits allowed. So 18 earned runs allowed in the 35 in the third. He walks way too many batters. 32 Ks, 21 walks. Not the K to walk ratio you're looking for. Splits are fine. Griffin Canning is starting to get touched. He's coming off an 11-4 win at the Phillies, but he went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. At home this year, he's starting to get hit. I mean, it's just looks like he's turning into a pumpkin now. His splits are fine as well. The Braves aren't hitting righties hard, 238, 690. The Mets are, 259, 840. And the Mets bullpen is bad. Last 30 days for the first time all year in a 30-day stanza, are they looking bad? 4.77 ERA, 1.51 whip, while the Braves are 3.72 ERA, 1.26 whip. Jose, we've had the other cappers open up. So why don't we hear from you opening up our final game on the board, Braves-Mets, Jose?
Yeah, this line being so low is a little sus again to me here. Griffin Canning has been solid all year, but TJ will say he's gas canning, and I think he might be gas canning here today. It seems like the Braves are live with this low line. Personally, I don't know if I'm going to move on it, but Grant Holmes has been pretty okay this year. Well, I just leaned Braves with this, again, sus line here. There's 50-50 ticket splits each way, 64% of the money on the Braves here. 80% of the bets on the under and 52% of the money on the over is pretty nuts, though. So I'd probably just stay off the game, but it's definitely a Braves lean to me.
We have a Braves lean. There's no difference on the first 5, even though Canning looks like he's back to his old self here. Let's hear from you, Morgan Spooner, Braves Mets.
Yeah, I have a bet in this game. I ended up moving on the New York Mets. This is a game where I feel like both of these teams have to sort of look ahead to what's coming. I mean, you always do. And the Atlanta Braves have a big divisional matchup next. Lost my notes when I did this. So the Mets have the Pirates on deck, and they'll be able to put David Peterson on the mound, who's been pretty reliable to go out there for 6-7 innings every time. So I feel like the Mets can really get into their bullpen here. And the Braves have a 3-game series with the Phillies coming up, and that is really important. You mentioned the Braves underperforming at this point in the season. They need to find some wins, and I don't think this is a good game for them. I think Canning showed some good stuff in that Philly game. He gave up 3 runs in just 5 innings, but his hard hit rate was under 30%. His chase and swinging strike percentage were the best of the season for him. I think this is a spot he comes back home to the most pitcher-friendly environment, and he just really excels. On the opposite side of this, the Mets bats just woke up. They kind of were on a little bit of a losing streak there. I want to say they lost like 5 of 6, and now they get to face Grant Holmes. And I don't think this is a good spot for Grant Holmes. These Mets bats have been number 2 in baseball over the last 30 days versus right-handed pitching. And that's using weighted runs created plus or OPS or weighted on base. And I think this is a spot where Grant Holmes is just very liable to get touched on the road. He's not a guy I have a ton of trust for. I think his pitch mix just doesn't lend to be that good of a pitcher in the major leagues. But the Braves bats on the other side, they're bottom 10 in baseball the last 30 days versus right-hand pitching. And I think Canning's just really comfortable here. I think this is a spot where the Mets are in a better spot to deploy all their bullpen pieces they want to. I think the Braves really have to worry about that Philly series. They're starting a couple young pitchers, and you need to have arms ready in case something happens, because you don't want to punt those games either.
The one standalone game at night. I mean, I look at this schedule and I think, holy shit, I'm gonna get to sleep a little bit tonight. Like I'm not gonna be. Where's the action? Where's our action? But I don't want to sit here and try to make something happen here. I like your breakdown. I think that both of these pitchers that are pretty pedestrian are probably going to be very helped out by the weather here. In saying that, I'm still hesitant to make a move. Let's hear from Justin McCelvy, your Atlanta Braves. Justin, what are your thoughts here?
My Braves are so frustrating. However, I'm very optimistic. I'm going to catch the Yes Braves plus. I think I got 3 I got to look. No, I got 280. I got 280. Yes, Braves playoffs plus 280. As far as this game, I'll make it official because I know I don't know. I don't see my record, but I know I got to work on it. So I'm gonna give 5 official plays. I'm gonna get one in the WNBA. I got.
That's dope.
Okay.
But let me say that I did send you a record in, and it's fine. It's I mean, it's 2-2. Let's just pull up here because this is show 3. You're 2-2 here. Where is it? 2-2, down 0.08 units. Average line minus 101.
It's just spoon show. Like I don't think I got to win ever.
What's
But
good?
however, this game here, I'll make it official.
I want you
Ronald
on
Acuna.
every week. Don't worry about it, Stacks.
I don't know. I'm worried about it. It's right in space. I'll text you about it. But Ronald Acuna Jr. over 1.5 bases. I got minus 112. I'll take whatever it's at now.
Acuna total bases over 1.5 minus 112 here. So we have Canning, who lefties hitting 248, 713, righties 239, 681, and the idea Acuna hitting leadoff gets over that 1.5 bases, even if the weather is not helpful. I get over 1.5 bases minus 112 here for Justin.
It wasn't even so much the matchup for me. I felt like I got hoed last night. I'm like Dabby. I go back to a prop. He was stacked yesterday. He didn't cash, but he got an RBI in the top of the ninth inning. But he hitting the ball hard, so I like the way he hitting the ball. And like you said, he's on the top of the line. I like it.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it here. We have the Rays Royals, no runs in the first inning, moving to the bottom of the first, and same in Phillies Astros, moving to the bottom of the first. So, Justin, do you want to, because we have Brizzy who's rolling with us, Brizzy backstage, do you want to cap WNBA with us?
I could just give my one play when it comes and I'm out.
Okay, sure. Is it in Sparks Fever or is it in Mystics Aces?
It's in the fever game.
Okay,
Player
cool.
prop.
Okay, yeah, stick around then. Stick around here. Morgan Spooner, excellent work here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I know you got audio problem, and I know how much it meant to you to get it to work. Thank you. Coming off a great 4-1 day here. We see, like myself, everyone's seen me do it many, many times, dig a hole. And then you kind of see the true character of the capper. Some people don't want to, they'll just stop coming on. They don't want to see the record up there. They'll stop coming on. But you have been grinding and fighting, and you've been crushing Sundays, and I expect to see you get hot here on Betting with the Bag. We have Astros money line minus 138, Tigers minus 1 minus 122, Rays money line minus 120, Mariners money line plus 106, Mets money line minus 108. Spooner, I'm going to pop your X handle here in the chat. Let the cappers know where they can find you, my friend. Of course, walk-off wagers here on Sunday, but you are making moves here in the industry, and we love seeing it. Where else can they see you, my man?
Yeah, over at the Kyle Kerm show, I'm doing a few shows over there a week, breaking down baseball just like we do over here. It's the same concept. Nobody's selling picks or anything, just giving out the best information they can. Same thing, walk-off wagers. Me and Wine Time are absolutely killing it Sundays. It's so fun getting to cap with Wine. He's a great capper, just like yourself, Jimmy. Just makes you elevate your game. Same thing with Kyle, Toast, and Trevor. Just getting around people. Winning is contagious. You look around, and it's fun. I'm on my last losing day right now was last Thursday. I scraped some juice Friday, and it's just been stacking a little bit each day. So like to keep that going. As always, gamble responsibly. Have a great day. I think this Astros spot, if you have not got on it, is a good spot to get on. Hunter Brown at home. This guy, as you see, if he looks good in the first inning, you got to back him. He looks good. If you're not already on it, I think you should be. Good luck to everybody today. Jimmy, Jose, Stacks, as always.
Be well, Spoons, my man. Jose Bouquet, my friend, you're coming off a monstrous day and a monstrous start to the week. And we have both hit double-digit units up. And it's rare. I don't know if we've both been up double-digit units. It's been such a battle for me. It's not you. You've been there multiple times. I've been there this year, but I fell back. It's nice to be here now. Jose Bouquet, please review your action.
Yes, by the way, Vladdy got hit earlier in the game, came out, and the Kevin Gausman-led Blue Jays just hit Jose Ramirez.
Oh,
right back at him. So
here we go.
Guy on first base, bottom of the fourth.
It's how it starts.
No benches cleared. Nothing happened yet, but
One
Jose
more.
Ramirez was nonplussed about it, to say the least. Cleveland Guardians money line -137.
Didn't he punch
Officially
somebody before?
Yes, that was Tim Anderson. Never forget.
Oh yeah,
Never forget.
shook him, man. He just cold
Put him out of
cocked
the league. Put him out of the league.
Never
That's
seen
how
him
hard
name
it is.
ever again.
Yeah.
Put his ass out of the league after that.
Oh man.
I'm on Cleveland money line -137. Admittedly, I did think about moving on them live. I haven't yet. There's no particular reason. Maybe just unit control. Who knows? And 3 overs, which, I don't know. It feels like the squarest card in the world because of betting overs, but here we are. Over 7 in Philly, Houston, -115. Over 10 in Tampa Bay, Kansas City, -120. Over 12.5, -115 at Dodgers, Colorado Rockies. There. So should be an interesting night, to say the least.
Yeah, I get why you'd be thinking about the Guardians live here.
Yeah, I thought about the, obviously the +2.5, try to scrape out, at least some, like a little bit of a juice loss out of that. But and TJ, you're right. Overs aren't square. They just feel square to me because everyone wants to bet overs, but you're 1,000% right.
What inning is that Guardians game in?
Bottom of the fourth, Carlos Santana is hitting right now, and he just fouled off 2-2 count.
I need some more runs in that game.
Yeah,
I think I missed that breakdown.
I will tell you right now what I'm getting live right now, Jimmy, because I had not looked. Cleveland Guardians +2.5 -152, +2 flat is +102.
Something's up for me. It's dark here. It's not moving, and on the main page, it's not even there. So and they just pulled it. Now the game's just gone. So I mean, something's up at 365. But I get it. I get the look.
Yeah, I personally want it to be like 3.5. But I don't want them to get down that much either. So, but yes, those are my plays. Shout out to you guys. We'll be back here to end the program because we're racing horses today. So don't forget that. And shout out to you, Stacks, Jimmy. Hope we have another good day. And hopefully our guy Billy Brisbane can bring us to glory in the WNBA.
Oh, I've needed him. I didn't know he was going to join us. I felt like singing the hero song. I won't.
Can you please do it?
No, I know it'll be used against me. This is again like that. The negative. It's so important to stay positive in what we're doing. You don't have to pretend. Like that's why we record all our action. Like glass doesn't have to be half full. But whenever I think a bad thing's going to happen, it just seems to happen. And then I just got crushed last night in WNBA, and it took a lot of the luster off a 9-1 day. So couldn't be a better time to have them than right now. And I'm not going to let WNBA get too far away from me. I will shut it down. I thought, what is the limit? Usually I use it 20 units, but I think it might be 15 here. But off an 0-4 -4.44 unit day. And now I've cut $50 off the unit size to see if I can get rolling again. So let's see if this man can provide the tonic and get me rolling. Please welcome from South Jersey, one of the stars of the Locker Room podcast, our #1 show here on the channel. Please welcome our guy, Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good. Nice little Thursday afternoon. Nothing better than having some MLB baseball and then WNBA and its lone spot tonight. It's going to be where all the eyes are going to be at, right? That or the NBA second round. Which one are you
watching the Braves Mets game, 7:00.
That's right. There's going to be a lot of action on that one, too. It's one of the rarities where all the action here is in the daytime. Brizzy, let's get started. 7 p.m. Eastern, LA Sparks, Indiana Fever. By the way, I know, Jose, I'll have my record up, which is atrocious. Yours is not at all. You are, let me just pull it up here. I wasn't sure you were going to be rocking with us here. Let me just grab it here. SBK giving you a shout out. You are 11-9. You're hitting at 55% plus 0.82 units ROI plus 4.10% average line minus 116. And I need you now, man. Need you now. So I bet. I was like, you know what? But I couldn't help myself when the Caitlin Clark news came out. The Sparks have been so goddamn bad. They're just so horrible. And I was like, well, now I have the chance to back them. You know, when Caitlin Clark was announced out, I got the 5. You know, it cost minus 120, but I got the 5. Trill OG play of the day is on the Fever minus 5.5, and I doubled down, and that makes me uncomfortable because I only doubled down because of how bad yesterday went, and because I cut $50 off of the. I know the psychological issues that are plaguing me right now. But so that's what I've done. So I got the minus 5, minus 120. I got the double result on the Fever at minus 120. So let's roll here. Let's start with the line history. We'll start with Justin. He's got a player prop in this game, and then we'll go to Brizzy. So, sorry, let me move over to WNBA. Take a look at the cash flow as well. So for game 1, now remember, the big line move is predicated on the missing Caitlin Clark. So this opened up at minus 10.5, and it moved to minus 11.5. So when did we find out that there was no Caitlin Clark? We found out at 10:16 a.m. I thought it was earlier than that. So this went down to 10.5. Then it went down to a 7. Then it went down to 5.5. This offshore never went to 5. So it's at 6 right now, and minus 109 towards the Sparks is minus 6, minus 107 towards the Fever. From a total standpoint here, we have a 168. Another drop that kind of makes the over appealing now. Let's just see when it dropped. So it got up to 174. The 10:16 a.m. went to 170, and it kept going down to 167.5, and then it started climbing at 168. Wouldn't be that heavy against this over. We'll hear what Brizzy has to say. Expecting some of these basketball players to hit shots can be extremely frustrating. Redbeard is on Kelsey Mitchell over 2.5 threes at plus 115. Fever returned home from that 3-game road trip, you know, obviously without Caitlin Clark. So she's got a left groin issue. It's the first half of back-to-back. You know, 2 days ago, they had the line for tomorrow night's game at 7. And I almost moved on it 2 days ago. And then I was like, you know what? Wait to see what happens in game 1 before you move on the second half of back-to-back. But I wish I had have just followed through, because even with Caitlin Clark in, that had moved to 6.5, and the Wings are playing, you know, more than some of their parts right now. But so the Fever went 3-2 without Clark. So when they played 5 games without Clark, they looked terrible without her at first, and they kept getting better and better and better, which is why I wanted to move on them immediately. They snapped their 2-game losing streak with the impressive 94-86 win at Seattle. A DC Capper helped get me off of Seattle, which had been the plan. Aaliyah Boston goes for 31, and Kelsey Mitchell, who Redbeard is on, went for 26 and hit 5 threes. Sparks coming off their 4th straight loss, 97-86 at the Sky on Tuesday. I feel like I'm betting like a Capper who's on tilt, and that makes me nervous. I was on the over. Also, I was on the Sparks in that 97-86 loss at the Sky on Tuesday. Azura Stevens went for 21, Plum 20, Hamby 15, Jackson 11. No defense whatsoever. And they're in this 4-game losing streak. They're averaging just 74 points per game. They're not scoring. That's, you know, 7 less than what they average. They're also allowing 94.5. You know, that's 7 more than what they average. They're just playing terrible basketball, and I feel like the Fever will be locked in and ready to go because there's no Caitlin Clark. Let's hear from Justin McKelvey. Take it away, Sparks Fever.
I'm gonna be fast and get out y'all way. I'm on Leah Boston, 15+ points. I got it at minus 112 this morning. I imagine with the Caitlin Clark news, it might have fluctuated up, but it's just someone who I like to bet when she's not gonna be there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just a huge score here as well. Huge score. Look at Wally says first night of quarter horses at Retama. Hopefully Jose will meet you out there, Wally. I love that track. I wish I could be there when it's live. Oh, that's great news. Well, I can't wait to rock with you on Saturday, Wally. Aaliyah Boston here for Justin.
You can make that official.
And that is official. 15 plus minus 112 for Justin McKelvey. Justin, you want to stick around for this breakdown for Sparks Fever? I know you've been rocking for a long time. Got a lot of stuff to do. No worries if you
I gotta let my dog out.
Okay. Hey, Justin, thank you so much for rocking with us. I'm going to pop your X handle here in the chat. Please support Justin, man. He asks for nothing from anybody. All he does is put out his action. He asks for nothing in return, puts out winners. He's a huge part of our community, and I'm very thankful to cap with him. I'm very thankful he is a part of our community. Please hit that X handle that I just put in the chat and support him as he supports us. So, Justin, thank you for all that you do for us, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Words for the capper supporting the show.
Now, let's have a day.
Let's go out there and get that cash, man. Brizzy, Sparks, Fever, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. Take it away.
Yeah, I think the spot outweighs the injury news report for me. Like the Fever were able to bounce back in their last game to conclude a road trip versus Seattle. A good sign considering Clark went 3-for-11 with 8 turnovers. They'll be without her with the groin injury for God knows how long, probably a couple of weeks. The combination of Boston, Mitchell, and Hall are definitely going to have another inspired performance taking on the Sparks. But like the Sparks have been a head case all season. Offensively, they have talented pieces in Hamby, Jackson, and Plum, but again, their defense down the stretch has just haunted them. Like in their last game versus the Sky, allowing 55 points to the Sky in the second half, which extended their losing streak to 4 in a row. This is the third game in 4 nights for them. Their bench has been disappointing. They're having some injury problems in their guard backcourt. Even without Clark, I feel like this game makes me I lean towards the under. Like I kind of want to go team total under for the Sparks here. But then you kind of look at the Fever at 87.5 at minus 125 towards the under. I feel like the bookies are indicating that this game could just really go under. If you look at some of the reason why I like the Sparks team total under, yeah, they scored 86 points versus the fucking Sky, but it's the fucking Sky. I mean, God, that they're favored by 5 in that game. But looking at the rest of their games, outside of loss of Vegas, Aces, Wayne, that they were inspired for 78 points, 67 points, 66 points. Granted, 2 of those games were against the Minnesota Lynx, but I don't know. I like the Sparks team total under, but probably go with the same game parlay here of Kelsey Mitchell, 15-plus points, Indiana Fever to win. One of those type of spots where, like, Indiana's coming close to covering a line or winning a game. It's really going to come from Kelsey Mitchell. A lot of Aaliyah Boston's production really comes off the pick and roll with Caitlin Clark. We saw the last time that Clayton Clark was out, her numbers skyrocketed like badly down. Like it was not a good showing for Aaliyah Boston. And then you added in the Dewana Bonner situation. I feel like Kelsey Mitchell is going to shoot the ball until her arm falls off tonight. Her point prop sitting at 19.5 points at minus 122. She's coming off a strong 26-point outing versus the Seattle Storm, and they have really good guards in their backcourt in Skylar Diggins-Smith and Gabby Williams. Granted, she'll get more defensive attention, but it's also the fucking Sparks. They've allowed 82-plus points 3 of their last 4 games, giving up big games to opposing guards and forwards. I think the Fever are highly connected towards Kelsey Mitchell. Like, Kelsey Mitchell has a good game. Fever probably covered this line. Kelsey Mitchell has a bad game. They probably lose this game. This game goes way under.
I would like to check one thing here. It's because anytime the Sparks play, I want overs now. I just, I watch how bad they are defensively, and I'm just like, and then I can understand your idea with the Sparks under, but can you talk about the offense without Caitlin Clark? I know that she's been
more of the pace of play for me. The one thing with Caitlin Clark is, ever since college, like a lot of her games have been high scoring because she runs up and down the court. You replace Caitlin Clark and put in fucking Ari McDonald and 30-whatever-year-old Sydney Colson, they're probably just going to walk the ball up the court comparably to where they have a way faster pace offense. Like their offense with Caitlin Clark on and off the court is comparably different. It's a lot of veterans that they're really leaning on, like Sydney Colson, the Kelsey Mitchell, like Kelsey Mitchell's the only one with Jets, really. I mean, if they're smart, they play at the half court in this one. If they run up and down with the Sparks, I think the Sparks have enough guard depth to probably outrun the Fever off the court. I feel like it's connected towards the total, even though like the total has gone down. Like the Fever win this game, it's probably because they're going to have to play defense. If they lose this game, it's probably because the Sparks go over their team total and the Fever can't score. But I think that Fever drop-off game probably come Friday night against Dallas in Dallas. Dallas looks like they're on a little bit of a roll right now. But LA Sparks are just like I want to bet anytime I see a Sparks game, I want to bet the over, and I would want to bet the over in this game. It's just I just don't. I feel like the pace of play is not accounted for in this total at all. This is going to be remember the Fever game that they played against the Connecticut Sun? The first game that Caden Clark was out, they were favored by 8.5 points. That game was slow as hell. Like they were just walking the ball up the court, and the Sparks are such a bad you know how it's bad basketball teams. You see like a team like the Wizards versus the Hornets, the total will be 220, 223.5, and it barely clears over 200. It's sometimes these bad teams just play to their level of competition, good and bad. And maybe the Sparks are just going to be more accustomed to a half-court offensive type of game, and they don't even know it.
And then what can you touch on, the DeWanna Bonner gone, Jerry saying, and now they're minus DeWanna Bonner. Did she have I thought her role was minimal. Was it bigger when Caitlin Clark was injured?
It's not that her role was minimal. You know how cap spaces work? If you divide your cap up a certain way and you're dividing the top 3 spots in your cap space towards the superstars, and DeWanna Bonner is supposed to be 4th or 5th on that list, and now you don't even have that person there, I mean, it can definitely change the depth of the roster. Coming into the season, they definitely probably didn't think fucking Lexi Hall was going to start again. You know what I'm saying? That type of drop-off. They got Sophie Cunningham from free agency, but she's playing way more than what she probably thought she would. And so is Natasha Howard. Stephanie White historically has been a good coach defensively, but offensively, you're starting to see the struggles come out a little bit. You bottle up Caitlin Clark a little bit, and this team's a 500 team. I mean, power ranking wise, this team is supposed to be top 3 team in the league. I wouldn't say this team is. Them and the Mystics play a 7-game series without Caitlin Clark. Shit, I'm picking the Mystics.
And we're about to talk about the Mystics in a second here. So, is Kelsey Mitchell over 15 points in the Fever an official pick?
Yes, minus 140, bet 365, and I gotta decide what I want to do with the total. I've had a little bit of WNBA broad view version wise. When you see an injury news report, the number one thing that they don't move is really the total. The first thing that they'll move is the spread, and the last thing that they move is the total. I was texting Paul about this yesterday when Brittany Sykes got ruled out or she didn't show up to shoot around. I said, dude, I'm betting this fucking under immediately. This is going to close probably 3.5 points, 4 points later. And then Collier ends up getting ruled out an hour and a half later, and the under fucking soars way under. One of those type of things of that's the one thing I've been peeping about the injury news report. I'm not a big totals better, but in the WNBA, if they're not going to move a fucking total off the injury news report, but you're going to move a spread fucking 4 to 5 points, how do you not move the total 4 to 5 points? I'm just going to start taking advantage a little bit more of the totals that they're leaving out there for WNBA. You see it in the LA Sparks Fever game. The first half totals you can find anywhere from 84.5 to 80.5 of how do you change a total 3 to 4 points, but you don't change the first half total at all? It kind of makes me want to bet the Fever first half, but I didn't get to the window with it.
This game's gonna. God, every time you take a bath in a sport, it's.
But this is the premium. This is the premium spot, Jim. This is the spot where all those handicappers in the world are like, "I got a WNBA play for you, $150 today," and it's the Sparks plus 11.5, and it's like a line from like this morning, and the bookies come in and scoop in, and the Fever end up winning the game by like 15 plus points, and it doesn't matter what the fuck number you got on the Sparks because the Fever end up winning. Like, that's how I see this game playing out.
That's how I hope it is, because I doubled down on it. Let's roll into game 2. Brizzy, great to have you here. 10 p.m. Eastern with the Washington Mystics, the aforementioned Washington Mystics, 7-8, 2-5 on the road. At the Las Vegas Aces, 7-7, 5-3 at home Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't think we talked about the cash in that first game, by the way. I'm not sure. 60% of tickets, 60% cash on Indiana. I know it's skewed because a lot of tickets came in before. We saw that line go from 10.5 to 11.5. 69 and 78 on the under. Here, though, of course, like anybody else. Now, one thing that's really worked for me in NBA and WNBA and NHL, and it's new this past year doing it, is stopping the overvalue of people wanting to fade teams on the second half of the back-to-back. It's just, it doesn't work. And it built up and built up and built up till I flipped. And now I'm backing teams on second back-to-back, and it's been very helpful. But the Mystics are clearly more than the sum of their parts, and the gambling public feels the same way. And so the question was, why wasn't this line moving? Maybe it's moving now. Let's take a look. This total is opened up at 162.5, and it's now a 160.5, and it's juiced to the under. So pretty legit move towards the under. And on the spread, not only is this line not moving, but we're back at the 8.5 that we started at.
I had this open up at a -11 at FanDuel Sportsbook, over under 63.5, and the Fever game -9.5.
Wow, interesting. And do you have a time for that opening line?
I would imagine it was yesterday, or what was the last WNBA game? It was probably before the last WNBA game, because they posted all the games before I went to sleep. That was 8, 9 o'clock last night.
That's wild. This opened up at 11:19 p.m. at 8.5 offshore, where we used to play poker. And this opened up at 8.5 here about 45 minutes after. So, but important knowledge there. I've only seen this here, at 8.5, but that's very, very important to know. 1-0 Astros, says the squad here. So 80% of the tickets, 94% of the cash are on Washington. And this line is not moving off of the number that was available offshore. 82% tickets, 88% cash on the under. Mystics are 2-5 on the road, but they've been very good, better than we expected. Mystics coming off their second straight win in 3rd and 4 games, 68-64 home versus the Lynx on Tuesday. Their defense stepped up, huge, absolutely huge, late. And I know that there was no Collier, but they really shut Minnesota down. Shakira Austin went for 19. You talked about Brittany Sykes and how she wasn't, she late addition to the injury report, and she's been a big piece of the puzzle. 19.6.
Sonia Citron. You talk about giving Paige Beckers a run for her money for Rookie of the Year. Sonia Citron has looked like a fucking vet.
She's looked, the whole team looks good. Aces are on the second half of back-to-back after beating Connecticut Sun 85-59 last night at home. Asia Wilson went for 22, youngest or fastest player in the WNBA history to 5,000. Jackie Young, 20. Chelsea Gray, 15, 7 and 6. Also added 3 blocks. Jewel Lloyd, 13. They hit 11 threes. They scored the first 19 points of the basketball game. But, everybody and their mama on the Mystics, and this line's sitting at that 8.5. It's just sitting there. Now, you did mention the 11. Now, I didn't see it available anywhere, but clearly it was available. So take it away. I'm all ears.
This is just one of those type of spots. Like, the Aces have been able to bounce back in their last couple of games, but I just feel like they're going back to being overvalued here by the market. Like, what have the Aces done in the last 2 to 3 weeks that should be them favored by damn near double-digit points? 5-9 ATS on the season. Prior to those last 2 wins, they were 3-9 ATS on the season. They haven't been a team that you've not been profitable laying points with the Aces in the last year and a half. And I just don't see how that spot really changes tonight. Yeah, the Mystics have been in the spot before. This is their first game of a road trip to not start off their season, but after their crazy first week of the season where they were 3-0 and they're beating everybody and putting up a bunch of points. This is like their like first comeback down the life spot. And they gave the Aces a run for their money. Like they got outscored. It was like 25-13 in the fourth quarter, and they only lost the game by 3. I mean, that was a close ass game watching that one. I ended up losing a play on the Aces money line and the over in that spot. And I was highly shocked of how the Mystics guarded Asia Wilson. And I think this could just be a spot where like, yeah, the Aces win, but I think they get off to a slow start in this one. I like the Aces first half team total under 41.5 here at -120. If I'm going to check FanDuel real quick though, because I'm placing this bet as we're speaking. Where's FanDuel at? Because FanDuel might have 42 in it. That might be all the difference. Now they just moved it to 41. Yeah, I'm taking the first half under in this game for the Aces team total. And player prop that I like, or I should say player prop of the day for me, is going to be Asia Wilson over 12.5 rebounds and assists. That line's at -130. One change that the Mystics have been doing, remember Shakira Austin? She's been like kind of on the Mystics for a while now when they're better players throughout their teams in the last couple of years. But she had some injuries to start off the season. Then she came back from injury and got like technical fouls and stuff like that. Basically, they're doghousing her until she came off the doghouse and started playing. And her and Kiki Efren, which is Juju Watkins' co-running partner at USC, she's like a rookie. Since they've been in the starting lineup, they've allowed the second most opposing three-point attempts and three-point made as they live ball pressure on screens. So it sounds like an Asia Wilson dimes type of game. Like if you're playing like the Asia Wilson 21.5 point prop seems like a trap. She might pass the ball a little bit more than what given credit for. And she's a really good playmaker. Like if Asia Wilson finished this game with 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists in real life, that's a really good game. But in the player prop market, she goes under her rebound prop and her point prop, but goes over rebounds and assists. I think her assist prop isn't being accounted for the double teams like Kiki Efren and Shakira also been all right down low together. You had Gigi Oriemi to the squad. That was the girl that they drafted in the first 7 picks, and she ended up blowing out her knee. Russell Westbrook made her outfit for her draft night or whatever. You had her to this team. Shit, the Mystics fuck around and be 3rd, 4th best team in the East. Like, if there's a legit conversation to be had if the Mystics are about to be a better team than the Fever. Of like the Fever are way too overvalued, but they should be able to win tonight. But long term wise, in the like futures market, like there might be some looking around for like Mystics to make the playoffs this year or something like that. Like their rebuilding time might be a little bit quicker than what they probably thought that it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to, try and be cute here and take the Aces, but 94%. I mean, this should move to 7.5 and 7 if 94% of the cash is on the Mystics. Now it changes things when you say that it did open at FanDuel at 11, because and I'm not going to do any. I'm going to leave it alone. But the Aces are in. I mean, you can't put yourself in better shape for the second half of a back-to-back than what the Aces were. I mean, no one played more than 27 minutes. Very aggravating. I was so pissed off that, usually on the first half of a back-to-back with a big favorite, I will take their team total under in the NBA. And I was so angry that I didn't do that with the Aces last night. I mean, clearly they were going to, play their best players sparingly, in the second. But
to play devil's advocate, though, you could also say, like, we saw the Phoenix Mercury kind of in this Aces spot last week. They went down the stretch against the Sun, and that game ended up being a little bit closer than what they probably thought it was going to be. And then they came out the next night and fucking smoked the Liberty off the fucking court. Could it be one of those situations where the Aces just kind of lollygag through the fucking Connecticut Sun, and the Mystics aren't the fucking Connecticut Sun? They're going to come out way more intense to start off the game than what the Connecticut Sun without Marina Mabry and a Lindsey Allen-led roster would probably look like. It's food for thought, because the Aces, like you said, like how are they laying 8 points and everybody's just backing the Mystics and this line isn't like 6.5? Like feels like these two games should be flipped when it comes to like spreads. Like the Fever should be 8.5 and the Aces game should be 6.5.
Yeah, I think both are true. I mean, in that Mercury spot, I faded them in that first game against the Sun, but that blew up in my face because I faded them in the first quarter, and the Connecticut Sun came on late and covered. That was awful. But then obviously they were pumped up to play the Liberty. It was a look ahead spot here. The Aces took their foot off the gas because they're playing the lowly Connecticut Sun, and now the Mystics are a much better basketball team. So I do think both are true. I guess I'm just going to stay off here, stay off and just and watch. Last night was disappointing, but I got the double result there for Fever as well as a Fever -5 at -120. Justin McKelvey is Aaliyah Boston 15 or more points at -112. Swaggy McNolegs moved on at -136. Kelsey Mitchell for Brizzy over 15 points. Is that 15 or more?
15 plus points.
Okay.
And the Fever to win money line, it went up to -145, bet 365. And then the other bet that I took, I'm gonna stay off the team total under for the Sparks. Even though like everything's telling, like that's like the model play, but model plays don't hit in the fucking WNBA. I tell you that. The Aces team total under first half 41.5 -120 is going to be the second play for me. They might be able to win the game. They might be able to cover the spread. I just don't think that they're going to be able to put up as many. They barely got the 41 last night against the fucking Sun, and the Aces are just not a team I want to put money on, and I think I'm gonna have to try to fade them team total wise, not spread wise. Like spread wise is too tricky with them.
Yeah, no, it's a great breakdown. And Swiggy, the Fever line movement gives me confidence. I don't find it scary at all. At the -10.5 or -10, they move to 11.5. So that that's what I want to see. Then I think that they overvalue Caitlin Clark here as they moved it down to 7 and then down to 5.5. I think that 5.5 was too low. I mean, I got in on the 5. I think it was too low. So now that it's a 6 at the sharp books and the juice is moving towards Indiana, it's now a pick 'em. I think that the line movement gives me confidence and it's telling me that I'm in the right spot. But if I was to study the line movement before Brizzy said that it opened up at FanDuel 11 in the second game, I would say Aces are a must bet. And I imagine, AM's got his work schedule right now. I imagine AM would say right now, I'm starting to say the books keep taking on more and more Mystics cash and they're not moving the line off this 8 or 8.5. In fact, Penny's got the 8.5. So,
would you say percentages on that game? Because the Aces are like one of those teams that are like public, like the public is always likes the Aces, like that they won back-to-back championships. Like people think of the WNBA first 3 teams that they probably think about is the Aces, Liberty, and
absolutely 80% of the tickets are on the Mystics and 94% of the cash.
Damn.
Doesn't that make you want to bet the Aces?
No, that tells me that the people that are betting the Mystics Aces game are really watching these games because there's no. I as an odds maker, I just don't see how do you lay a like. Do you just do they think that people just look at the game from last night and be like, oh, Aces won by 30, yeah, they should be double-digit favorites here, they should probably win. Like I don't know. Like the first time that they played in Las Vegas, the Mystics' first road game of the season. Probably like one of the worst spots ever for them in a spot where they were putting up a bunch of points the week before. And the game went to a 3-point game. Like, I don't know. I don't know about these Aces right now. Like, when do we start back? Like, I wanted to back them against the Fever. And I felt like I left money on the table there.
Jerry Davis says WNBA capper said CC at 8.5 points. What CC? Is that the Caitlin Clark that we saw last year, or is that the one that we're watching brick after brick after brick after brick? And I mean, so look, and we had LJ come in with the trilogy play today. I feel very comfortable with the spot here. Especially the fact that they had that 5-game run without her.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. It's the 5-game run without her. They just did this last week.
Yeah. So I mean, look. The one thing the only lock on this show is that we'll be honest and transparent with our record keeping. So we'll see how it works, Jerry. And I'm certainly not going in this game, with bastion of confidence, especially after this, start of the day for me. 3 errors makes it a 3-0 game against Cleveland in Toronto, Cleveland, and then lose that first 3 under in Athletics Tigers, with an error. It's a frustrating start, but that's, it is what it is. Frustrating. Oh, it was 2-0 Redbeard? Sorry. No, it must be 3-0 in that game, right? Because it's because the first 3 didn't cash for Troy. Okay, 3-0. All right. It's a frustrating start to the day, but these things happen and you got to roll with it. And we build our bankroll our whole lives to deal with these highs and lows, and they're just a part of what we do. And it's been a great week, so I don't need to lament for a goddamn thing. In fact, thank you, Brizzy, for rocking with us. It was great to see you show up backstage, my man. Thank you for your breakdown. That is WNBA here for Thursday, June 26th. So what we want to talk to you about, Brizzy, is UFC 317. Man, a big live stream here on the show. The horse racing show will be on all day before the live stream. I might jump on with you depending on how hammered I am during our show. But take it away for us, Brizzy. What are you thinking? 317. We have cappers in the chat talking about the huge event here. Wager Detective as well, talking about his excitement for the big card. He's got Joshua Van money line. He's talking about the big UFC card. He's asking if Dumas is a play at plus 108. So
that fight canceled, the Dumas fight.
Oh, damn. Okay. Dumas fight is canceled. Talk to us about the big event and let us know your where we can watch it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, International Fight Weekend this weekend. Make sure you guys tune in. Me and Joey going live tonight for PFL World Tournament. Fight weekend starts early, Thursday night. A quick little preview for Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to be live on the live stream. Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't already, Pub Sports Radio /contest. UFC, sign up for the UFC contest. $100 for first. Big pay-per-view this weekend, UFC 317. One of those type of cards, though, even though it's a big pay-per-view, there's really one spot that I really care about, and it's really the main event. I think Ilia Topuria is going to smoke Charles Oliveira. However you can get it, knockout prop, money line, parlay piece. Jake Paul also fights this weekend. I don't think it's as crazy of a Mike Tyson spot. The line has definitely corrected itself. He's at like minus 800 now, I believe. But you can definitely fuck around with some parlay pieces this weekend. Those would probably be my 2 most confident fight spots this weekend. It's going to be Ilia Topuria and Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is going to fucking do Jake Paul things. And Ilia Topuria is going to knock out Charles Oliveira. I'm just saying, I don't want to be the guy. Nothing against Dubronx. Dubronx is a GOAT, legend. Might be one of the best lightweights ever. But that's really where the nucleus of the weekend is going to be at. So make sure you guys tune in here, Pub Sports Radio, Saturday night. 6:00 p.m. to the end of the night. We'll be going live, fight, with live commentary, live bets. And the live bets have been huge. Like, sometimes I'll ask just my 2 cents while we're on the live stream of, like, who do you think is winning the fight, just to see, like, a different opinion. And he'll be like, I think so-and-so's winning. And, like, the person will be, like, plus 120 in the third round. And I end up just, throw a little half unit on it. And that worked for us last week on the live stream with Curtis Blades and stuff like that. So make sure you guys tune into the live stream and stuff like that. Stick throughout the whole entire stream because you never know when the live bets are going to fire off. It's the UFC, so like anything could be a live bet at the drop of a hat.
I love it, Brizzy. Go out there and get that cash. Thank you for rocking with us here today, and go get it, man. It's a big weekend ahead for the channel, of course, with our UFC. But I'm really excited about the horses here. I'm going to pop Brizzy's X handle here in the chat. Support our guy Billy Brisbane here. So there we go. At @getting_bills_ and big part of our channel here. All right, let's do our final review and let's also race. Let's get Jose back in business here with us and let's race. So horse racing here today. Jose, what is up for grabs on today's race? 50?
Yes, believe so. We did 2 on Friday, right?
We did, but we also have Ricky Levine who wants to put his money in. I'll go over all of that. Ricky Levine, who won on Friday the 13th, wants to put his money in. So I'll figure that out, and we'll do that. That'll be better for a Friday anyway. So I'll make sure I figure that out. And thank you, Ricky, and all of you guys. Thank you so much for the support. The gold members keep us alive here on the channel. So we thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for being gold members. And we have big announcements coming here about our gold members and what's going to be available for them coming in July. And we're excited about all that. How many gold members do we have, Jose?
71 gold members. Shout out to you guys. Big stuff coming in July. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting stuff here at Pub. Let's race, my man. Good luck to all. Let's race.
Let us race indeed here. We are often racing here early in a beautiful racetrack with the sun shining. This could be Retama today. A little quarter horse action. Shout out to you, Fat Wally. Great time. Those quarter horses. I'll never forget, Jimmy. I went there. I put my money down. Was excited. I saw them shoot, and then they finished after one little go, and I was like, "Why the fuck aren't they running anymore? Why? What the fuck's going on? I thought this was 2 laps. What the fuck?" And I was shocked to see that. But we've got beautiful races going on here with Chosen One and Sharon Pulliam out in front right now.
Sharon Pulliam. There's Nunya on the outside. God, I'm excited about Saturday. There's Newkirker flying up front. Newkirker wanting to add some money to the bankroll. Saturated on the outside. I haven't seen Saturated in a while. Missing NBA dearly.
Oh my God.
Had her there. Sharon Pulliam trying to come home with it. Sharon Pulliam's pulling away from the pack. We haven't seen a guy cash from this far out in a long time. Is anybody going to try to usurp him? And there they go. Here they come. It works like that. Unfortunately, it's late. Pace and
oh my God. Did you see who's up at the top of the screen?
Oh my God, I missed that. I didn't even scream no.
I couldn't have screamed louder. Oh my God, I thought he was going to win.
Oh, I did too. Wow, I did.
Holy shit.
Ken Wood in first, and Nasty Nate still doesn't even get the top 3. And clearly he's second from this look, but just always
I got excited there. I thought that was it. I saw Nate breaking. I got excited. I was like, holy shit, it's today the day. Oh my God. Ken Wood, congratulations.
Ken Wood, excellent work here.
I'm sure Ken Wood, if he could give it to Nasty Nate, he would.
Oh, well, he could. But it's Nasty Nate's
but he can't give the glory of the victory. That's what matters.
That is true. No, that is true. Congratulations to Ken Wood. I cannot believe it's still 3-0 Tiger. Oh, it just moved 5-0. Okay, that makes me feel a little better, but still not cashing that was 4-1. I mean, I even sent you the first 3 record. I was like, look, we're back in business, man. And then it just oh no, I didn't. I took out the did I do?
No, you do send it to me. Yeah, we have.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. And now I thought 4 straight winners were going to get back and get rolling, and I think the read was right. But disappointing start to the day here. 2-0 Rays, 1-0 Cubs, 1-0 Astros as well.
Yeah, let's get some runs, huh? Fuck, I hate rooting for overs. Like chasing the whole game.
A Myers single. I mean, that first 3 under I spent so much time on and left alone. Looks like it's going to cash. Could cash. There we go. Let's do a review of all action. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We have a huge card tomorrow. Can't wait for it. So let's do a review of action here on the show. Gorky on the Cubs and Dodgers. Spooner on the Astros. Tigers -1. Rays, Mariners, and Mets. We have Big Daddy Boom on the Tigers. Redbeard on Jays, Cleveland over 7.5. Vladdy over 1. Oh, he got screwed with the Vladdy over 1.5 bases. Right, because he started and he got more than 1 at bat.
Yeah, he got fucked there.
Oh,
by the way, Jose Ramirez out for the Guardians now.
Yeah,
basically did the same thing. That was very annoying.
The offense there too. We have the Christopher Cardi on the Mets team total over 9. Legacy on the Cards, Mariners, Braves. Von Polo on the Mets and Guardians. In CFL, at least that's something I can do here tonight. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It just, again, the Elks have been so bad, but nobody's talking about 5 days between games. Nobody. Why? I mean, like, not in any article, not in anything. Nobody's talking about it. And this is a very difficult spot for the Bombers. Now, I know the Elks are a bad football team, and then Nuke Worker's bullishness on the Elks, I'm going to keep working on that game. Bobano's on the over 50.5. In that Lions game, he's on the team total over 22.5, and the Argos plus 2.5. We'll do our full breakdown of the rest of the games tomorrow. TJ is on Seattle money line, Tampa Bay money line. He's on the over 7.5 in Toronto, Cleveland, the over 8.5 in Oakland, Detroit, and Tampa Bay, Kansas City, under 10.5. For me, I only have the Rockies first 5 plus a half left. God, the swings, Jose, the swings.
Yeah.
So that is my action. Stacks gave us action. Stacks is hammering the card today. It was fun having him on for a while. It was great to have him on for a while. Stacks has given us the Phillies money line. Bobby Witt Jr., RBI plus 128. He's given us Mookie Betts over 2.5 bases at plus 110. And he has also given us Acuna over 1.5 bases minus 112. We talked about the issues with the Marlins bullpen. If the Marlins get ahead, a live bet on the Giants is a must bet. And I don't know if you need to go money line on it. I think I would take the 2.5 or whatever it is available. I've been doing a lot more of that than going for big scores, but that's my kind of thing. So then Justin's on Boston, Aaliyah Boston, 15 or more. And we just went over all the WNBA action. And so at this point, I'm going to figure out the Elks game. I've got to double up on the Fever game. I'm going to look to get on the Giants live at some point. And that's that, man. That's that. Not a lot of action. So I guess I actually sleep. It's funny to say that, but good God, do I need it, especially before Saturday. I can taste the booze already. It's going to go down real smooth, Jose. Jose, please review your action, my friend.
The only thing I have left is the Rockies game. Rockies, Colorado, over 12.5. Everything's live now. The Rays game over. The Phillies game over. That's over 10, over 7, and Guardians money line. So just chasing runs. Just chasing runs right now.
That first 300 did cash, interestingly enough. Here, the Rays-Royals game is going to be low scoring, which is what again, I'm going to trust the market in these spots. It kept me off of a loser in that Giants game, but man, I find now I have no action to put in after the show, so I'm gonna start working on tomorrow's card immediately. And despite sitting here at my high water mark of the year, I find MLB as difficult a task as any I've ever had in my life to cap a whole season. And thank God I've been taking Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays off because it's so much. Like, I just even talking about it now, I feel like the weight of the world with these analytics. It's just so difficult. I'd love that, Gorky. Would love to have you on, my man. Putting you on the list now. Thank you to all the cappers in the chat. SBK says Tampa game out of the AL East lead. Yankees on an off day. Rays felt like a ticket with that scenario. Yeah, I know you're absolutely right, SBK. Swaggy, Gorky, Mally, Mal, Swiggy. Thank you, guys. Please support Pub Sports TV. Jose, do you mind throwing that Pub Sports TV link in the chat for anybody who still rock with us? Please go over there and if you can, subscribe. It would help us out a lot. Redbeard, Swaggy, Viper. Thank you, guys. Pacheco de Gallo. Upset about that Guardians bet. Yeah, I mean,
did we race? Nasty Nate's asking. Boy, did we, Nate.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch
Nate. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch your back, Nate. You're gonna have to watch your back.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Jimmy, I was so excited.
See, I missed the excitement, and then I just saw him, shining at the end. Very, very wild. Very, very wild. Coin, thank you for all that you do for us, my man. Voodoo Ranger, Big Daddy Boom, a.k.a. Leo Leon, a.k.a. Mr. Know-It-All, thank you. Wager Detective, thank you for rocking with us. Slow Jams, Arsenal, rocking with us. Jerry Davis, Robert Cherry, Lamont Williams, great to have Lamont. We had Matty Ice, Fat Wally, Sly One. Thank you guys. LJ from H-Town, Black Thor King, Kelly McInnes, Chris Mack. Thank you guys. Go out there and get that cash. God, we had a monster day yesterday. I want more. Kong's Clips is on Topuria KO rounds 1, 2, or 3 for his smash play of the day. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this community that means so much to us. So on behalf of all of us, Pub Sports Radio, we thank you. Jose Bouquet, my friend, can you please bless our action and leche us into the future?
Yeah, let's get out of here, gents. Long day tomorrow, and my laptop's only on 5%. So let's make some motherfucking money and leche, hey, los bookmakers.